Okay.
Hey, that's a start.
That's a start, yeah.
Do you not have audio? As one does.
Testing. There we go. Okay. I think it's all working now.
Woohoo!
What just happened? Okay. For some reason, audio was set to Braille. I was looking at it, and it was in lines of text for coding. Anyways, all right, take 2. I knew this was going to happen.
So weird.
I could show you exactly what it said later, but welcome everyone to Misrolled Adventures, where the players make plans and horribly execute them. Instead, it was going to be me, because of course it is. So for this one shot, we are going to be playing it as I already forgot everything that I said before. Basically, this one shot is a charity for National Women's Law Center that fights for justice in the court systems and fights against prejudice and bias rulings within the courts. With me and my fiance, we have 3 illustrious guests from the community, so if you would like to speak out in the same order that you did before, that's up to you.
Well, great. We'll make this real easy. Hi, guys. I'm Jen. I'm still somehow not prepared for this, even though it's been like 2 minutes and I just did it. I can be found on Twitter at JenBurb and over on the Plot Hunters channel every other Saturday night. Yeah, that's me. I'm pretty boring.
You're not boring. I am Gamer Mom Luna, also known as Luna. You can find me as Gamer Mom Luna on most social media except for TikTok, where I am the Gamer Mom Luna. And I am the creator and host of Tales from the Tavern, the epic TTRPG talk show where chat asks the questions. You can find that live most Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And that's over on my channel at twitch.tv/Gamer Mom Luna. And that's me.
And I am Carrie Smith 2012 on the majority of my platforms that I am on. And you probably know me from Deadlands The Crossroads, which premieres Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. And it's got 2 episodes left, so join if you like cool things.
Then, Olivia, if you want to say anything, that is up to you.
I like cool things.
That's okay. So we will just get ahead into this. So we have a number of stretch goals that are posted into the Twitter go live tweet, and assortments of that vary between like $25 ones, $50 ones, and they go on down an entire list. But anything and all that is donated, and feel free not to if you do not wish. This is solely just something that sends some support, and all the proceedings will go to National Women's Law Center for previous statements. Okay, so let's kick this off here. Across the continent of Nala, crime is handled with utmost scrutiny. Any and all crimes are met with harsh consequences, and whenever someone were to break the law where they are within Nala, they are tried by the public through a court system and given the choice of either paying for their crime financially or being sentenced to imprisonment at Fort Alice, a large stone construct of a prison embedded into the mountainside. Since this is where all criminals tend to go, regardless of their crime, it would become far too full very fast, and regardless of its size. That is why the forgiveness program was made in Fort Alice, designed by a pit fiend individual who was plainly bound into this world. He designed this in order to have a sort of... I lost my train of thought. He created the forgiveness program in order to lessen the numbers within Fort Alice to allow for further crimes or crime doers to go into should it become full. In order to have your crime forgiven in this way, there generally is a certain task that is dangerous to the country itself that needs to be resolved. Those that are given the options are drawn at random throughout the prison at the start of every month, and this resolves the overpopulation within the prison regardless of the results. If they succeed, then your crime is absolved, and if you fail, well, generally it is a life or death sentence. At this point, we are going to be coming to once there's a large ringing bell centered inside Fort Alice that begins to ring at the start of every month, and just so happens to be of today. So everyone is effectively drawn to the center by a number of guards, varying races and demonic nature. The center plaza of Fort Alice is an extensively long and wide, we'll say football field size of distance, just to accommodate for the vast amount of individuals that are here that vary from giants to gnomes to fairies to fey creatures. Any and all seem to be within these walls. The walls themselves stem up about 30 feet with large barricaded posts with long 30 feet gaps across the tops of them, with what looks to be these reddened gemstones that just hover just above. Everyone that has been here for more than a day would know that those gemstones are automatically controlled central turrets, effectively, that detect magical use. Within Fort Alice, magic is prohibited by any of the prisoners, so if any magic is effectively given out either voluntarily or involuntarily, these sentries immediately send this electronic pulse to the individual through the walls and throughout several miles beyond Fort Alice. The Pit Fiend individual, who's known as the Warden, sits at a very small desk in the center of the plaza that is hovering about 30 feet up in the air, just around the same height of the walls. While there, you can see that he's basically just flying with a small desk that is strapped to his front with harnesses that hold it out in front of him, and long stems of papers that seem to either flutter around near him but stay just about within arm's reach. At this point, the bell chimes once, twice, a third, and then a fourth final time. With each subsequent one, a paper lands onto the desk in front of him. And he reads off the names: Ren, Rollin, Willow, and Kenzie. Those are the four that are tasked with the grueling issue and rise of the winter storm from the northern mounts. With every task that is listed, the severity of it will instill the difference in the number of individuals that go on it. With number 4, everyone within the Fort Alice knows that this is one of the more grueling tasks that has been plaguing the countryside for about 6 to 7 months, which with every closing month, the storm seems to get closer and closer to Fort Alice before it would reach the rest of Nala. The 4 of you that are listed will be tasked with resolving the winter storm. The last group that went through only had a single survivor who, for lack of better words, isn't exactly in a stable condition. You have 1 week to prepare. Send your love letters, your notes to anyone that you need in order to receive the goods that you will be given for this task. After a week's time, you'll be sent forwards towards the winter storm, and you will not return until it is resolved, or you face your life sentence. At this point, the 4 of you are brought directly into a different prison cell that is a lot more accommodable. It has different seats. It has food that is actually purveyed and prepared for you. It seems that with the difference in tasks that are given out during these times, the last week that you have within Fort Alice is probably a bit more cozy than your previous months or years that you've spent here. Once you all are inside, they leave down a number of parchments and writing utensils for you to send out to what you are looking for in a parcel that will be searched and then delivered to you within the coming week. Whether you've spoken to each other before in your time within Fort Alice is determined by you, but at this point, all 4 of you seem to be stationed within the holding cell for this week time. Sending out your letters that you have pre-written to your individuals. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my music up. There we go. I was having so many problems. It's a technology day today, it seems.
The music was in Braille too.
Music was in Braille.
Absolutely.
Is the
Right.
is the donation link also in Braille? I have a friend that's trying to donate, and she's not finding the link properly.
It's just sending it to the stream, and then I will send it afterwards. I don't have
Okay.
a link prepared for it.
All right, nope. I was just curious about that, and it's nice to clarify too, because she was absolutely wondering.
Yes, thank you. I should have come up with a link. I wasn't
It's a
sure.
learning experience.
I've never done it.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Anyways, spending the time to write out your letters that you had done before, they get sent out. Coming of days seem to pass, resting, waiting, and it's oddly like a very shallow sort of wait. There's knowing the foreboding task that's ahead and the winter storm that seems to be getting ever so closer. The parcels do eventually arrive about 5 days after. Each of them seem to have been wrapped very ramshackly as the contents differed from person to person. Willow, your parcel, though being opened up previously to be searched by the guards, they have a large clattering of glass sounds as a number of vials and varying potions are brought to you, including what looks to be an umbrella of sorts that is more tethered to design than to general use. Written inside it is a... Oh my god, what was his name again?
Hazel.
Azel, thank you.
Yep.
Is a letter from Azel.
Hazel.
Hazel?
Hazel.
I guess my ears are failing. I'm sorry. Hazel.
Okay, Hazel's name was written in Braille too.
That's just gonna be excuse for the night. It's all
It's
in
the thing
Braille.
for the
It's
night.
okay.
Everything's in Braille.
I'm embarrassed. Okay, so Hazel with an H at the end of that, or at the front of that. It reads off to you, and immediately the papers themselves are kind of like tight in your hands. I'm sorry, this is everything that I could get within these times. Your apothecary doesn't exactly hold a whole lot, but I just grabbed everything that I could, including your favorite device. I just know that I sharpened it as much as I could, so I hope everything works, and I'm excited to see you after all this. And it ends with like a sort of signature at the end that swirls to like the last end, and labeled with Hazel's signature at the bottom. Kenzie, your parcel containing its contents of varying magical items. The document itself, you already immediately can notice, has been written in a very flaunting ink that looks to be almost like a love letter, but immediately after you pick up on the first word, you can tell that it's written in a certain cipher that you and your colleagues will say, devised in order to have a sort of subtle speech to one another. Reading in between the cipher, you can kind of gather that through all the flowery words and the pointlessness in some of the lines, it effectively reads off, "You're going to owe me big for this. Just so you know. Come back, because we have some fun things to do." Rollin. Is it Rollin or Rollin?
Roland.
Rollin. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Rollin, your parcel comes in with the respective mailings and magical items of it. And sorry, 1 second. I've written out a couple of things here for these bits. You can tell by the handwriting that it is, in fact, your mother that has sent these to you. Or at least sent the letter to you. And reads off with very shaky handwriting in almost as if they are sort of trying to figure out what they want to say but have too many things running in their head to write it cleanly on the parchment in front of them. "I know that everything that happened, it'll be fine. Everything's okay. Just come home safe. Your spot at the table will always be there, and nothing will stop that. Best of luck, and we will see you in a few days." Even though, knowing the task, you're not entirely sure how many days it'll be before you come back, but... and lastly, the last bit of parcel, going to Ren.
Love that pun-filled message that we sent in the chat.
What?
Malkara sent a very pun-filled message.
Oh my god. I now understand it. Oh, it's Malkara. Okay. Malkara, I actually donated a sub to before just because of the sole fact that they came in and were dropping puns like crazy. And they were
very good.
Nailing them. Anyways.
Very good.
Ren, your letter comes to you and your parcel from your twin brother. They write to you almost in like a joking manner, as if it was somewhat of a prank that ended up getting you in here. "Hi there, little one." I say little only because it's been about 7 seconds or so before our passings. But everything in here that you've requested should be there. After this, you're going to have to take me out to a drink. Probably going to have to sell these things back. We'll do what we can. But I hope to see you here soon. I know there's a couple other people here, a couple other friends looking to hear from you. But it'll be cake. It'll be easy. Best of luck.
He just kind of mutters, "You're older, I'm hotter," and folds the paper back up.
And with that, your parcels of goods that were searched through to ensure that nothing, effectively nothing that could just traverse you away from your given task was in there. But other than that, the goods that you requested from your respected family members, friends, and deliverers are there for you. As well as that, any other goods and armors, weapons that you might need for the upcoming venture, those are provided to you. And that is effectively it. After a few more days of resting and gathering your new belongings, you are taken to the Edge Gate towards the front of Fort Alice that is embedded partially into the mountainside itself. The passage itself is carved into in a crude manner in order to have footholds for barricades and interlocking logs to be able to just barricade up. And footholds is a wrong loose term, but there's etchings into the wall that can hold down barricades. When you step out of this gate for the first time in however long you've been in Fort Alice, the winds themselves are torrential, and you're instantly bombarded by this long gust of wind directly in front of you. The passage travels through the mountain itself in a straight line, coming out to the other side. Traveling down this path, you eventually come to light, where immediately, approximately 100 feet in front of you, is this swirl of snow that blocks any view beyond it. And it's been getting closer and closer over the coming of months. Eventually it'll overtake the entrance, eventually overtake the mountain, and then overtake Fort Alice. At this point, your lives are in your own hands. What do you wish to do?
You said it was snow, but also light?
Well,
Or
light
it's-
as in you were in the tunnel, and then light is
Oh, gotcha.
now-
Okay.
Yeah, it's daylight out, but you cannot see the sun. There's a large swirling of clouds that seem to be mustered towards the center of wherever this blizzard-like environment is emanating from.
Have we been given any sort of map or direction as to any kind of possible origin point?
Apart from it coming from
Big storm?
apart from it just being in the snow, that's where all the others that were sent on their venture were. There does not seem to be anything else. There's no given direction. It's somewhere within the torrential blizzard.
Anybody got a parka?
You would be given
but-
warmer clothes as well, just to attach.
Just like have fun, enjoy your frostbite.
So
We
most
all
are wearing
freeze to
sun
death.
Bye.
Game over.
Yeah. Oh, where? Yeah, I said it was gonna be short. Yeah, about
Not my
5
problem
minutes.
anymore.
Frostbite, done,
Um,
dead, over. Bye, everybody.
I'm a rock gnome. It won't take very long to freeze me. So
Guys, I don't even see a storm out here. Dead.
dead.
Hey
Like
guys,
jumping
what's
up.
up? Nope.
Guys, is there snow?
Now that you guys are all out here as well, if you would like to describe your characters and who it is that is going on this venture, you are more than welcome to at this time. In varying order, just like before.
I
Well-
can go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Kenzie is a human fighter. Kind of tall, just really, really short, almost looks like cuts her own hair, just like really, really short and shaggy. Almost like if she could have, she would have had like a buzz cut, but there weren't many options. So it was just like scissors, down to it. So not really a looker. But definitely a firm face, like does not look approachable at all. Probably hasn't said a word to anyone as we're all heading out here. Just looks really mean.
I will I will go next. Willow Evergreen. She is they are, excuse me. I'm still getting used to my own pronouns for a second there and using it on her kind of right now. They are a drow elf, drow elf. And they're a little bit older. You could kind of see it within their facial features, the wrinkles, the smile lines, the lines above the eyebrows, and the smile lines all around her face. So she's within her 350s, closer to their 400s. You can just see that they're just this very pale person all around, and they have a parasol with them at all times to protect themselves from the sun. So seeing that there's a blizzard outside, they're kind of taken aback by everything. But they also have very long green hair, kind of like a willow tree would have, and it sways really easily otherwise. And they are also pretty quiet, but they will chime up. Well, this will be interesting. I don't remember snow very well, so it's been quite some time. This will be an adventure for me, at least. And they look a little worried as they're trying to process everything.
So as I mentioned, Roland is a rock gnome, and so she stands like 3'2". And she's got sort of this dark, like reddish brown hair, and green eyes, which is not super common, but not totally unknown either. And she's probably in the vicinity of about like 80, which is really young for a rock gnome. So she's like super curious about the world around her. Just like really interested in like everything, and doesn't mean to cause trouble, but often does, just by the nature of the fact that she's a wizard, and that's that. So
Oh, I should have added on. Willow is a bard of the whispers. So there we go. Should have added that on. I apologize.
All right. Ren is a relatively bubbly looking half elven rogue. Kind of hair cropped pretty close. A little longer than a pixie cut, but not really quite much longer than that. Kind of dark brown hair, a little rapier at her hip, and a cloak that billows just a little bit too enthusiastically, because I definitely spent one of my loot points on a cloak of billowing because it'll be fun. Just for the aesthetic. She has been known in For Alice for mostly for her performative style of dueling. She is a swashbuckler because it's fun. And she's kind of like surveying the landscape, kind of bouncing on the balls of her feet, kind of squinting out just to, what do your half elf eyes see, that kind of style.
All right, sorry, just a little bit more technological difficulties. I've never done a charity stream, so I am botching this. Okay, I'll have to figure that out while this is going. But notifications are apparently not working either. Okay, anyways. So, with the torrential winds directly in front of you, getting ever so slightly, just microscopically closer, what is everyone's plan?
I guess kind of start walking, right?
I guess we'd need to get to where the storm is.
Yeah, that would to assess the situation further. Yeah, we probably have to start walking.
Start walking, keeping an eye out for dangerous wildlife and or people who want to kill us.
Yeah.
What is
Kinda
your...
have, like...
go ahead.
I was going to say, kind of have somebody on the watch for the backs of everybody. Make sure that nobody's left behind, sort of deal. The mother of the group, just kind of watching everybody.
All right. Is there any specific order of people going in, or are you all kind of just clumped up together to stay warm during the...
I think bumping is probably a good call for right now.
I agree. Out of
Mhm.
curiosity, I may have missed it for everybody, but am I the shortest of the group?
I think so.
I think so also, but I just wanted to make sure.
Being a rock
Oh
gnome?
my god, they're gonna
probably.
be buried in snow. Oh no.
I just wanted to, because I can only walk at 25 feet, so
Dear.
Traveling through
Anybody-
the torrential winds as well, your vision is very limited, up to probably about 15 feet directly in front of you. The
Oof.
skies themselves are entirely blocked out, leaving just a mild light that seems to wash in softly sometimes throughout the tops when it seems to clear up ever so softly.
I have this like super cartoon image in my head of Roland trying to keep up with everybody and is like braced against the wind like this, one arm up in front of her face and like trying to run to keep up with everyone.
Oh my goodness.
I would say somebody would manhandle you, but that's a little too much. Just be like, all right, we got you, and just like they pick you up and carry you in front, like, all right.
Just sneezed on me. Ew.
Oh god, it's freezing on my hand. What is this?
If you want, I can try and make you some like snowshoes.
I mean, that's okay. And like with each step, is it actually actively snowing where we are right now?
It is actively snowing, yes.
Okay. So with each step, I have firebolt as a cantrip.
Oh,
So with each step, I'm like shooting a firebolt in front of my feet. So like step here, boom, firebolt. Step here, boom, firebolt.
Just melts a little path for you.
Yeah.
incredible. All we need is some burning hands,
Yeah.
Yeah, and at these like flashes of light and everything, I am just surveying our surroundings as much as I can to see if anything is like if it's drawing attention to us at all, or if there's just nothing out here but the storm.
Oh, and then since we mentioned, sorry,
you're
since
fine.
we mentioned that it's dark, I'm like, wait, I can help with this. And like, I'm gonna just, as like we're all kind of standing together, I'm like, boom, light, boom, light, boom, light. And I just light up something on everybody. So now we can't lose each other.
Well, basically, with that, I'll need Kenzie to make a perception check just to survey, making sure that nothing is happening.
The first roll of the night.
First roll.
Dun,
That's
dun,
a lot
dun.
of
Mess it up.
that's a lot of stress. That's a natural 20.
Well, that's perfect. So basically, as
First
you
roll,
hear,
first one.
Roland hot stepping their way through the snow, and everyone else trailing, you immediately can tell that the winds themselves, though being very powerful, aren't exactly dissuading your hearing. It's just mainly your vision. But you tuned in for like the briefest of moments, and you could see that there seems to be like an outcropping about 200 feet in as you've been walking. There seems to be a large, just fairly built, almost igloo. Not necessarily massive, but enough to just sort of hide within for the briefest times. You can see that there's that sort of construct directly in front of you. Probably about 50 feet out, even though your vision is very limited, about 15 feet close.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just immediately point that out. I'll kind of hold out my hand. I don't know if I'm first or how that's working, but I'll just kind of hold out my arm and just point to it and just say, there's something. Do you see that?
Barely. Do we approach openly or carefully?
I pull my sword and just wait for the answer.
Willow will chime in. I could easily just cast some dancing lights to see what's in front of us, just a little bit more. It doesn't do much, especially with how thick the snow is going, but it would give us some extra light on top of things.
I can
do
also
you
try
guys
and.
think?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you guys think that would be something we could do?
We
That's
could. I
true.
could also try and sneak up there. I'm pretty good at getting by without being seen, and see if I can get a look at what's inside, or at least what's around it.
So we have one ready to fight, one ready to light, and one ready to sneak. I think that's a pretty decent plan, in my opinion. There.
Right, but which one?
All of them.
Option B,
No.
all three.
Because we can do fight and light at the same time, but we cannot do sneak in either of those things.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
So we're gonna have to pick either of those two or sneak.
I'm off with sneaking, trying to avoid combat as best as possible. I know it's going to be unavoidable, but we have nothing else to do. Might as well try to sneak around first and then fight on head on. Save
Alright.
some energy and time.
Give me 5 minutes, and what I think she's gonna do. This is gonna be ridiculous, but you know what? I'm here for it. It's a one shot. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Ren is going to just kind of like look you all in the eye, and then drop below the surface of the snow and just start burrowing her way over. Or their
Going
way
out to the
over.
top of the igloo and then burrowing in? Or
No, I'm just like using the snow to like mask my movements.
Okay.
And just get to the igloo and see if there are windows, see inside. If there isn't, then just kind of like poke my head around the entrance and be like, "Who are you?"
So you're basically sneaking around using the snow to
Yes.
check the outside first. Okay, make a stealth check with advantage. All set.
All right.
Someone in chat just said accidentally sending Morse code signals via flashes of light. So now we have Braille and Morse code,
Oh my
Morse
God.
code happening tonight.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna need y'all to know
what's going on here.
that I just rolled 2 5s. So for a total of 16.
That's better than nothing. Better than a 1.
Oh,
Well-
this is your fault. You sneezed on me.
Oof. Your cat is blurry.
anymore.
And so your total was what? 5?
16.
16. Oh wow. Rolled
I did roll 2 5s.
Oh wow. Well,
This is
sneaking
just
up to
how
the
my-
side, is everyone else just kind of like hanging back about 15, 20 feet, pretty much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hear like a splat as Ren just dies.
I'm just imagining your characters just going, wait, I've got this. Just gone. Just sink into the snow.
Look,
Burrowing in,
Become
basically
one with the
swimming.
snow.
Yeah.
This-
swimming
Be one
through
with
it.
the snow.
This person is built for performative fights, not entirely for stealth. So we'll appreciate the dice telling a story.
Basically, as you sneak your way around, pushing the snow, almost breaststroking through
Breaststroke.
it, you check the entire exterior. It seems like basically the way that this was constructed, there's no windows. It's very like poorly constructed, almost as if it was in haste. There are clumps in several spots that are probably not very stable or anything of the sort. And getting this close to it now, you can also tell it's not very tall. It's only probably about maybe at most 6-7 feet, just barely enough to fit most average-sized individuals. But other than the small, mildly snowed-in entrance, there doesn't seem to be anything else in here or outside of here.
Okay. Is there anything that I can see by poking my head around the entrance?
Poking your head inside, you can see that in the center there was a small dug-in little zone for probably what would have been like a fire pit if it was completed. A small bag that seems to be sitting off to the side that is leather-bound but also torn. Apart from that, there's nothing else inside of it from the entrance that you can see.
Okay. Last question is, can I see any indication of recent inhabitation and or the like breath condensation from anyone who might be invisible?
You do not see any sort of like breath. You know that it is relatively cold out here. If you were out prolonged for an extended duration, it would probably become dangerous to your health. But you do not see any breath. You know you've been seeing yours out here and still do, but you don't see any breath on the inside of this igloo-like location.
All right, I will burrow my way back to my new friends, and you can hear just kind of like low grumbling as the snow kind of like humps up in front of you, and just, like kind of like one of those like sandworms in those horror movies, right? You just hear just like they told me to one fight, they said, and then there's no one in there. There's a bag, and it looks like this was kind of like almost a panic build, but whoever built it either is not here or is really good at hiding. But I figured I would come back for you guys before just opening the bag, just in case, it tried to kill me.
I think that's a good plan. We should all go check it out.
Agreed. Off we go.
That way.
Going
Not
in.
burrowing, I assume.
Can I check the entrance for any kind of trap matter?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
All right.
Or an investigation check. I'll give you either or.
15. I'm rolling like crap tonight.
15. You check on the interior. You're looking for, in the snow, pretty much, if there's any sort of like markings or traps that might have been set. When you get up close and you peek your head in, you peek your head up, you look around, doesn't seem to be any traps anywhere from the entranceway towards the center hub, effectively. I still can't seem to get this link to work.
Well, in that case, they just confidently stride right on in.
Okay. Striding
To
on
whatever.
in.
Yeah, I follow.
I need
Whatever.
you
I mean,
to tie your shoe
Yeah.
because nothing's happening. You step inside, and immediately the cold air washes over into the igloo, and you're not feeling that press. The leather-bound bag that was to your side that seems to be torn open has a bit of some damp parchments that were inside of it at one point that are no longer protected from the weathers. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything else in here. Seems to have just been a shelter for somebody that had been traveling into the large torrent of wind.
And does it seem like a shelter for only one person? Like if I were to try to duck in here, is there even enough room for like 2 people to stand in
It could
here?
probably fit about 3 people, 2 relatively average size, and somebody that's not as physically built or tall.
Who were
yeah.
the last adventurers that were sent out for this storm mission?
There was 4 individuals that were sent. So just to clarify as well, the travel between here and the travel to the igloo and beyond, and when you guys started, is only about 200 feet. It was not you're not very far into it right now. Those that were traveling here before consisted of 3 men and a woman. The only survivor was this older, more crazed man, and when he returned, he was completely illiterate and unable to give speech.
Oh boy.
Oh,
That's
not
Just
good.
in hysterics.
Can we
Ooh.
read the papers if they're still legible?
You can pick them up and try to read them. The papers
Yes, please.
themselves are a bit dampened, and the ink themselves seem to be washing off. But you can gather just a little bit of it as it's written in common.
Can I use prestidigitation to dry the paper?
Ooh.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. So you basically dry out the papers with the prestidigitation?
Yeah, I want to like dry it out so that the ink stops running and hopefully makes it a little easier to read and handle.
Yeah, for sure. So once you cast that bit of magic, you can see the snowy bits that were on the end of the papers seem to just fall straight off. The papers themselves almost vibrate for a brief second and suck out all the moisture that was left inside of it. It does save a good portion of the words. The bottom half of it seems to probably still just be washed off by however many days it might have been sitting in the snow. but the majority of it does read more legible still. It states the following. There it is. Okay. It's almost as if it's like in bulletins. Person was making like a list when they were making this. I'm the only one left. I have to bury the bodies. The wind spoke to me. And at that point, the bottom part starts to get more illegible. Not because it was getting damp, but because it seems that the handwriting became more erratic as different bulletin points were being brought down. And after the fourth one, which the last one that you can feasibly read is just saying, follow the wind, follow the wind, follow the wind, follow the wind. Otherwise, it just starts getting into crazed, braille, and Morse code.
So, guys, I have two questions.
Yes.
One, should we follow the wind? And two, what are the odds that this was Old Man Lawrence's house on his way back?
Say the odds are pretty good.
I also would say the odds are pretty good.
I would have to agree. The odds are great.
And I don't have an answer to your wind question.
I think our best bet may be to follow the wind. Maybe he was just trying to get as much down as he could before he went completely, loopy.
I mean, it would make the most sense, but if he was going loopy by that point, it would be a little more understanding why he would say follow the wind if he was kind of going already out of his head.
Unless he was trying to leave a message for the next person and he knew he didn't have much time.
That could be true.
Is there anything that we can see in his bag, aside from the papers, that might point us to an indication that this person might have been from the prison?
Indication that they were from the prison? No, but searching the rest of the bag, there's shards of what look to be like ice.
Well, I'm not going to say it's out of place considering where we are and how the weather is, but...
But why collect them?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, you're dang it. Was it Willow that's the wizard?
No,
it
Roland
was-
is the wizard.
Roland.
Roland, aren't you good with the magic-y stuff?
I would like to cast Detect Magic on the ice shards.
Sure. Give me 1 second.
I'm just picturing Ty being like, they're ice.
Yeah.
It's ice, guys.
And I'm going to be like,
Icicle.
well,
Ice,
that
ice,
was a
baby,
waste.
come on.
Ice, baby.
So you're
Wait,
casting
you never
Detect
seen
Magic. Are you
ice
ritual
before?
casting Detect Magic, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So after some time that passes, your eyes sort of tune into the given surroundings, and immediately you can feel there's just like an overwhelming surge of magic all around you. The shards of ice are giving off what look to be transmutation.
Oh, interesting.
Evocation. Sorry, evocation.
Also interesting.
Scary.
They themselves are not due to a magical spell, more like a magical effect.
Do you want me to hit it with my sword?
I wonder if
Yellow at it.
the storm is being conjured by somebody.
And the further that we go in, the thicker it's going to be because the more magic will be right there.
Right. Is there any person or creature that could do this kind of thing? I asked both the group and God.
You could make a Arcana check or a History check.
I would like to do that.
Just for flavor.
That is a 20, not natural.
Thank God, that was an 8.
So Ren, thinking on what could make this, a lot of things could. Weather.
It's like weather can sure make this.
Weather sure makes this. Ice, freezing water. Typically
Yeah,
can
sure
do
is cold.
something like that. Roland, the first thought is of an entity that is more derived of ice and derived of the winter climate. Fey creatures that could be Eladrin of the winter season. Otherwise, there's, for instance, a number of magic spells that could create large torrential substance like this. The closest bit to those that can physically control something like this would be akin to frost giants.
So I'm going to relay that to everybody. All of that information.
It would have to require a very elderly frost giant and one that is a bit more higher than his peers, or a bit higher than normal ones, basically a peer to others.
Oh, hear me out. What if it wasn't a frost giant?
That's just history. That's just those that could be part of this.
Don't accept
Yes.
this reality. We're gonna find a different.
Let's just find a different reality. Can we find the AU, please?
Yeah, really.
Somebody cast plane shift. We're going somewhere else.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does
We kinda-
that line up with the weird losing your mindedness?
Sorry, what was that?
This is actually also to both the group and God. Does that kind of line up with the weird losing your mindiness? Any of that?
From God. The losing your mindiness could be comprised of trauma. Might not be something that's akin to this, but there are plenty of magical effects that could cause psychological trauma, or even to this point, psychotic breaks. So.
Good.
Oh, very good. Everything's fine.
We know what we're expecting now. Ooh.
What's the worst that can happen, right, guys?
I mean, I can think of a lot of bad things that could
I
happen.
mean, we could die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be
death
pretty
is
bad.
one of them.
It's a rhetorical question, guys.
Well, you asked it to talk to the youth of us now.
It's
Sorry.
kind of like how we said, what's the worst that can happen? We said, enter that tournament. It'll be fine.
Oh boy.
So here's the thing: if we head further into this storm and we find a frost giant or whatever it is that's making this, it can probably function just fine in the storm,
Yes.
while we are going to not.
Yes.
So
Yeah, we will not function just fine. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm cold and I just want to go home. So
I agree with that one. That is a true statement.
and then I'm just gonna look around, hoping I see something that I could kill to make it like all go away.
Looking in here, probably not gonna find that.
Yeah.
Is there like a spot where like maybe there was, like a little outlet where maybe there could have been a fire at some point?
Yeah, there's a dug-in center pit directly into the center of the igloos itself that stays as far away from the walls as it can be. That could be designed for warmth to create like a hearth or a fire pit.
Lovely. Is there anything in it?
It appears that there's some what is it called? Embered, torched wood.
Charcoal?
Pretty much the remains of what once was a fire pit.
I'm going to use a firebolt to cast at that, just to try to warm it up so that we aren't freezing while standing in here.
Smart.
Okay, yeah. So you set that up into the center, and sorry, I'm trying to balance this and also fixing this problem with the donation bits. So I'm.
Would you like me to talk it out just how I do it? I go like this over the fire pit.
No. You do effectively create that sort of just enough of a flame that can give off enough light and warmth from the center of it for those that want to stay within this area.
Yeah. That's basically what I was trying to do.
Yeah, it creates enough heat for how long it'll last. You're not too sure because it is on effectively just small amounts of kindling, but it can provide a decent amount of warmth for the small distance that you've traveled in.
Okay. At least now we won't freeze while we think.
As long as you don't freeze later too.
I can help with that.
Amazing.
With everyone
I'm so
sitting,
glad
you'd be
I
able to
fire
all
spells.
fit in here as well. With everyone sitting, it'd be very close quarters.
Yeah,
but
I
you'd be
imagine
able
it's
to
pretty
fit.
cramped and everybody's like,
Considering it was a large space for one person, it is very cramped for 3.5.
So what do we do? We have to. It says follow the wind. Do we just listen?
I feel like
I
that's the
guess.
best lead we have to go on.
wait for it to talk to us.
Do they mean like follow what it says or follow where it's blowing or
Yes.
That might be the
Which part?
same. That might be the same answer or the
Okay.
same question.
I'd like to stick my head out the door.
Okay.
Hey, wind.
What are they doing?
Wind, where do we go?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh,
I think they're losing their minds. She'll
that wasn't supposed to be.
If that
Willow
works,
will
man.
just like
Oh my god,
Willow will lean
21.
over to Kenzie and just be like, I think they're losing their mind over here.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
21.
You're trying to talk to wind, nothing happens.
Yep.
Waste your good roll on Tommy.
We shrug
I'm
and like come
sorry.
back inside and say, well, I tried.
It's so if
Fair.
the wind is not talking to you, it might be follow the direction of the wind, and
But-
that will lead us to our goal.
But didn't the handwriting say they were talking to the wind?
The wind talks to them, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
I've never really
The
been a good
wind
listener.
talked to me.
I was like, hey, where do we go? And it didn't answer me. Rude butt.
Maybe you didn't ask,
Rude.
like,
Maybe you have to speak wind.
Maybe you have to ask it out on a date first, and then it'll talk to you.
Roland sticks her head out the door and just goes.
what is she doing?
Just
There's
kind
a
of like,
bit
are you
of
talking to a cat?
frost on your ears from just going. But apart from that, doesn't seem to be speaking back to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That didn't work, guys. I tried. I spoke wind. It didn't work.
Can Willow try to see if there's anybody within 120 feet with message? The cantrip message to see if like she can reach out to anybody 120 feet away from her? And that could be our so-called wind friend there.
So are you pointing? So are you stepping out and pointing in the direction of the wind?
Yeah, so like she's gonna follow the direction of the wind. So if it's blowing east, she's gonna face east, obviously, and then she's going to try to send out a message 120 feet out that way to see if there really is somebody controlling the wind, because if they are, they could be using possibly dissonant whispers, but that would be within 60 feet. But she's just going to give it a shot to see like the direction of the wind and if somebody's actually in that direction. It's a long shot, but
Very
it's
cool.
a shot.
I'm trying to think of how this works. Okay. Okay. You point, so you step out of the igloo. The wind blowing straight against you, as in the same direction that you were basically when you were walking through towards this igloo, the wind was pressing straight up against your face, going against the wind. And you point in that direction, and what are you saying?
Okay, I didn't think this far. I didn't think you were actually going to go with this idea. Hello? Is anybody out there? It's strange, but we need to know where to go or what's going on. Can somebody explain to me what's happening? And she'll kind of like wince, or they'll wince a little bit, be like, as they're looking around.
Me, Willow.
While this is happening again, Kenzie is like, what are they doing?
Pointing at the wind and like,
Yeah.
hey!
Looks like they're doing the same thing.
We're gonna solve this whole thing while we stand in this igloo.
This is our freedom.
So you actually, as you point and you wait, your tip of your fingertip is getting colder and colder, but you just hear, "Let me sleep." And then the wind gets stronger, pushing up against you.
Oh, Willow is going to go back inside, and they're just going to be like, "Oh, I don't want to move now. We live here in this igloo, okay? We live here now."
What happened?
The wind, it actually spoke. It said it wants to sleep.
I like poke my head out and I'm just like, now I feel insulted.
The wind it calms down slightly, but it's still a little bit stronger than what it was before.
Well,
Is the
we
wind
can't
coming
let it
in
sleep.
like...
I have shit to do in life.
Yeah.
I'm like, I must have been speaking the southern dialect.
Is the wind pulsing by chance? Like, is it like how a person breathes heavily when they're asleep sometimes? So like it's calm and then it's all of a sudden a big push and then calm and then big push.
It
Oh.
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 So they'll point that out as that discovery is being made. So if we're going with ice giant possibility, it makes a little more sense. Somebody could be just tired and causing the storm, and that's what's going on.
That's
But
a lot to do when you're tired.
it is, but when you're
A
a giant
month.
person, a giant snowstorm could happen.
For months?
Maybe they're
Sleeping Beauty
hibernating.
effect? Hibernating? Sleeping
Well,
Beauty?
Sleeping Beauty gotta get up because I got things to do. I have some concerns.
Did you just say I have some concerns?
Yes.
The best thing that's been
Karen,
said so far.
sorry.
I'd like to talk to your manager, please.
Your employee is sleeping on the job and ignored me.
This wind is really inconvenient.
You please stop the wind.
Okay, so what?
Which direction did the wind say to go?
It didn't really give me a direction, but if we're going off of the assumption of sleeping person with the wind like it's breathing, we go towards the direction of the breath. So wherever it's feeling the strongest.
Going against the wind, pretty much.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
So we are going to have our faces full of wind for a little bit.
And it might be goopy wind, depending on how sick they might be or how mucusy it might be. If it's
You just get to the
just to
source
put
of the
that
wind.
thought
Might
in your
as well kill me
head.
now.
I'll just die here. It's fine.
Of this.
Oh man.
Oh,
My
Oh,
cat
that
abandoned me.
face.
He came up on my lap earlier.
Oh, Jesus.
He just kind of went, nah, not now.
That's valid. All right, let's go into the wind.
I will pull my cloak like as high as I can to cover my face from the mucus wind.
Is it bad that all I can think of is he's breathing in Braille?
It's breathing in Morse code. It's doing SOS and breathing.
It's just he's just breathing out ones and zeros, or they're just breathing out ones and zeros.
Yep.
Oh
yep.
yeah.
That or binary code. Can Willow just like pop out their parasol and just like use it to go against the wind and maybe lead a little bit so the wind's not directly in their face, but they can definitely kind of still feel the breach of it at their legs.
Yeah,
Except
sure.
for our gnome friend, they're feeling it everywhere.
Yeah, no, that can work very well, especially because the tip of the parasol is a bit of like that sort of funneled end that comes to like a long point. So it does actually cut through part of the wind that gives you that sort of that tunnel-like effect when you're pushing through. So that can both keep you a bit warmer, so that way the wind's not just pounding you straight in the face. And then if everyone was behind you, then it would funnel away. So if you want to take the front of it and do that, then you are more than welcome to.
Yep. Willow will take the front and lead a little bit with the parasol out in front of them to not be blasted with wind.
All right.
I would like to take the back and just keep an eye on just behind us in case we're being followed or anything.
Sure. With your natural 20 before, we'll just use that as your perception.
Sweet.
Because you are very in tune with the snow, it seems. Oh my gosh. People are... Now that I've come up with an alternative solution, people are being very, very generous in chat.
Aww.
Very happy that we can do that. Anyways, back to it. As everyone is basically conga lining through the snow and the torrential winds, with Kenzie keeping an eye on the back and listening in to anything that might be happening, Willow, directly to your right, you've been traveling for probably about a good 5-10 minutes, and the snow at this point is very thick and it's very hard to walk through, so you're kind of trudging along with your legs just pushing straight through. But once you keep pushing, the wind suddenly shifts directly to your side, and you could feel it almost push you off to your side.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. They'll very clearly react to that, but it'll probably get everyone else's attention with that as wind is now blasting us.
Yeah, it's hitting everyone on the side, and it's almost as if you're like in a line now 90 degrees away from the wind.
Did it move? Did it change directions, or is it trying to confuse us?
I guess we just the writing said follow the wind. What's the worst that can happen by following writing we found on Dead Man's, or not, maybe not, I don't know. Anyway.
Hallucinated as heck man's
Right, yeah.
grave.
What's the worst that could possibly happen, right?
It's
Was
better
there
than
any
prison.
Was there any like visible change too, or does it all just look like a snowstorm?
It looks like a very blurry snowstorm, and as you're sort of getting further in, the air itself is a bit more like damp almost, and the snow is a lot thicker. So as it's starting to pelt you, you can feel it clinging to parts of your clothing and your the warmer clothes that you were attributed.
just keep following. Is that the plan?
Following it. Might as well. Let's do it.
Yep,
Yeah.
we made it this far. Let's go.
What's the worst that can happen, right?
Still in your
We went
conga
over this
line
already.
format?
We could all be dead.
Yeah, conga line format I think is probably best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I definitely need to be like drafting off of somebody taller than me.
I can go second, and you can go behind me if you want.
Sounds good.
Yep. Just like cling onto their back, just be like, all right, let's go. It's like the duo that I have in a different campaign. I have a gnome. It's like my best friend, and she just stays on my character's back the entire time, and we're just
Yeah.
a duo, wizard cleric duo.
Nice.
Both called June as well.
Yep. June and Juniper, Mama June and Juniper.
Oh, that's cute.
Unintentional.
Completely unintentional.
But adorable.
So they also have like character art too. I'll post it later. Okay, so shifting to the right and traveling against the wind once again, you can feel the wind itself getting more forceful, trying to almost just push you further back. And in this point, Willow, because your vision is pretty much obscured due to the parasol, you immediately feel a thump from the end of your parasol hitting something.
Oh, I don't want to look at it.
You can hear like a slight crack of like ice starting to like slightly break. You're not up against a wall. You definitely hit something.
Someone.
Why'd we stop?
I'm concerned that I might have hit a loogie. A frozen loogie. This is not what I was expecting.
Hit.
Brendan kind of like pokes their head around to look. Even though they're probably going to regret it later. It's fine.
You poke your head around?
Willow also wants to take a peek because
Like
of the
the
fact that...
dum-dum that I am.
Yep.
So it's pretty easy to pull out your parasol as well. But when you peek around the corner of the parasol, you can see completely encapsulated in ice what looks to be a humanoid individual. Every single
kind of
bit
like-
of them is frozen to the core, and any feature of their clothing, skin, hair is a very chilling blue hue.
I just kind of look back around and I'm like, that's not a Lukey, that's a person.
Yeah,
human
that's
loogie.
a little bit...
You
Aw.
little bit of a different story. Is this... So you said that there's no like distinguished features that we can pull off of this person, or can we notice
None.
anything of like? Okay,
Well,
they've obviously.
if you're trying to like notice something about them, make a quick investigation check.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything distinguished about them that might lead them, or might link them to the prison that we just came from. You said investigation, by the way.
Investigation or perception, I'd say.
Perception is one point better. We're going with that one.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, we'll take a 19 for perception on that one.
Okay. The only distinguishing factor that you can tell is they're very brittle, as you had no sort of force pushing into them with your parasol's pointed tip. Where there is probably part of their frozen arm seems to be missing an end to it. Seems to be missing probably portions of its hand.
We've got like a Luke Skywalker situation going on here. He's got a nub.
It's like it's not like a nub. They've got some probable fingers, but some that might have just easily also fallen off.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Does it appear to be, I know it's going to be hard to tell, like death from frostbite, death from trauma, death from...
The ice itself.
Yeah.
Locking it in, you know.
Closure. Happy to make a really bad
This is
medicine check.
actually an important question. How long does detect magic last for? 10 minutes?
10 minutes?
It is.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it's 10 minutes.
Let's
I think it's 10
see.
minutes.
Duration up to 10 minutes.
It took you probably only about 5 minutes to get here. Your detect magic would still theoretically be up. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There, as you bring up the possible cause of death, Roland, you peek over and you can see immediately, apart from just the washing of magical energy from all of the wind that's around, encapsulated in ice is this entity surrounded in evocation magic. Or evocation magic. The cause of death that you're looking at, it's, you can make a medicine check real quick.
Wait, me or Roland?
Red, sorry.
Gotcha.
Oh.
All right. Let me see. This will go so well. That's a natural 20. I swear to. Wait. Yes.
Well, it may
Nice.
not be. I guess.
So I have to make
could be
sure
a
because
two.
I have one of those dice that has an icon instead of the 20, and I know that someone's having
Oh.
a 20. Check.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, the one that I have, or that I've seen that has that, it says fuck on one side.
Yes.
And then
then
oh
crit.
shit on the other one.
Yeah.
I
I
have
want
that
that
too.
so bad. I want it
Yeah.
so bad.
But yeah, it's a natural 20.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. Immediately, you check over them, and though they don't have any sort of like physical, physical aspect to them, you can't even see a depiction of their face. You put your hand up against them, and it's like frosty cold. You look at the hole that they were punctured into through Willow's parasol, and there's no semblance of organic matter. It's as if this entire person was entirely encased and turned into ice.
Kind of like Flash Frozen.
Pretty much like Flash Frozen.
Ooh. I'm not gonna say what
Guys.
just popped into my head.
Flash Frozen Morse code.
Oh,
Nope.
Oh.
All I could think of was Dippin' Dots.
Oh,
nice!
Guys,
Nice!
this
Love
guy's
Dippin'
been Dippin'
Dots.
Dots. This guy's been Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots are
Wait.
great.
okay.
Dippin' Dots and Dashes.
Oh my god.
That's the name of the one shot. I don't care what name you
Yep.
had before.
Nope, Dippin'
That's
Dots
it now.
and
Yep.
Dashes. I love it.
So
Yeah, this guy doesn't really. He's not a guy anymore. He's a guy-shaped ice statue.
Guy
Does
shaped
this
He's
singular Dippin' Dot, yep.
a
does
guy-shaped
this
Dippin' Dot.
guy-shaped icicle statue have a mouth by chance?
Speak with death.
It's probably
Just
frozen,
bear with
but-
me.
I
Here.
mean, I'm sure it's got a mouth. Whether it can open is a certain other question. But
Okay, I don't think that'll work then.
I can try to chip at it and see if it'll open for me.
you gonna try to speak with the dead here? Or?
Yeah, speak with the dead. I have that as a 3rd level spell.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Can I try and like finesse the mouth open with like an arrow and a dagger? Or something?
Sure, make a sleight of hand check.
So just to verify, this is where the wind feels like it's coming from, or we just stumbled upon this?
You've stumbled upon this on your way while the wind turned. So the wind is still coming straight at you.
Okay,
Including this person, it seems that they were facing the wind.
got
and,
it. Okay.
Yeah.
The sleight of hand is a 15.
Okay. It's not the best that you could have meant. I mean, it's like ice sculpting, except you're
Yeah.
using a knife or an arrow and a dagger.
As one does, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, you're like
Well-
weirdly chiseling with an arrow,
Yeah.
but it's pretty rudimentary. You're gonna cast Speak with the Dead, huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
One
I'm
of my
gonna-
favorite spells. By the
I
way.
turned to
I'm
Roland and
gonna
I'm like, I
try-
tried.
At least I'm trying. It's not like I'm saying like, well, it's gone, gotta go. We're attempting here. So
Amazing, sweetie.
Okay.
Willow,
Yeah.
oh, yep, go for it.
No, you don't have to make
Okay.
anything. I was thinking of, for some reason, in Great Gods War, whenever people cast leveled spells, it rolls on the Wild Magic Surge table. But anyways, so you cast this spell, and in a oddly grotesque sort of like shattering of ice, you can see the mouth open up and like bend in order to, I guess, function as a jaw. You can definitely tell where the bits cracked and opened. It's definitely not where the jaw probably was.
Okay.
But it seems to have animated, and you can ask it 5 questions now.
Okay. First question they want to ask.
I thought about this beforehand.
Not really, but this is kind of off the top of my head. First question they want to ask. Were you a part of an expedition?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what number expedition you were? Because we're the 44th, correct? Refresh my knowledge there, DM.
Yes, you are the 44th
Okay.
cent. Forgot to say about earlier, because that was in a separate part of my notes.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, 44th. Good job
Okay.
remembering. All right.
Oh.
Whoa.
They've been here for a while. Okay.
Ask it if ask him if if he made it to the thing.
Did
he
you
knows.
did you make it to the end location?
No.
Okay, that was question number 3. Do you have an idea of what could be causing this?
The eyes. Avoid the eyes.
That's
Okay.
terrifying.
The eyes. The eyes. What do the eyes do? And that's the 5th and final question that they will ask.
What do the eyes do?
Yes.
Could be snarky, but in reality, he would say this. What happened to me?
Okay.
I was gonna say they look at you, but you know.
Maybe
With
look at you look at someone else.
with Willow knowing that that was the last question, they will respectfully kind of say their piece to them and then try to lay them to rest in the snow. So that way they're not impaled anymore, and that way they kind of have a final spot to kind of lay in before they keep moving.
You don't want to walk around with this guy in your parasol? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, if just stack the bodies on top, let the bodies hit the floor. In this case, let the bodies hit the parasols. But they're hoping that everyone else heard all the information. If not, Willow will absolutely explain the questions that were asked and the answers that were told.
Everyone can hear the answers because when the spell is cast, it literally animates the portion that can manually speak, regardless if there are organs to do so, which is part of the horrifying nature of the spell. But in a very crack and sort of like icy way, the jaw moved to punctuate the words. So everyone definitely could hear it.
Whoa. All right.
That's horrifying.
Yeah,
It
that was
was
traumatic.
That was horrifying, but it gave us some answers. 7th expedition and the void eyes are 2 things that are sticking with me the most here. Avoid eyes. Oh no.
Eyes. Like, don't look it in the eye as in like it's one thing, or does it have weird eye
An eye fetish?
What do we do here?
I say
Let's just keep going, right?
we might as well try to keep going and avert our gazes because I feel like the wind might be shifting said eyes around, and that's why we haven't had any issues yet because Parasol's been blocking away a little bit.
That's terrifying. And
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Look it in the eye, then if he says don't look it in the eye, then that implies we have to be able to see it, right?
Yes. That would be a valid assumption.
Also, hi, Kirby. So can it see us yet? Do we know?
I'm not entirely sure.
You could take a look around if you would like.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? I'm just
Everybody
gonna
take
real
a
quick-
direction.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom check just to see if I will. Oh yeah, I will.
Heck yeah.
Do it.
Kenzie,
Do you want a
keeping
perception or
keeping a general eye out anyways, as you have been.
yeah, now like definitely not eye level though. Like I'm looking for feet. I'm looking for feet.
Yeah, the torso and feet. Torso. What if this was a gnome though? Like, what if this
Well,
the pair
then,
of eyes was on a
Well,
gnome?
then I'm in trouble.
Chuckles, I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
Do you want any kind of like perception or anything?
Yep, make a perception check.
All right.
For those that would wish to keep an eye out as well as Kenzie.
For those
Yep.
who make poor choices in life. 25. Yikes.
He rolled his
That's a
balance.
whole 12.
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
17.
I once had a GM who said, like, you don't want to see this, and you probably won't unless you roll really high. And I'm just like, Ben, I rolled a natural 20. Or 24.
This might also be a certain situation that you don't necessarily
Oh,
want to see.
good. That makes me feel so nice.
kidding.
That makes me feel so good about everything.
I feel like this whole game was just a bad life choice now.
Yeah,
Well, I
a
mean,
little bit.
It's your realistic only life available choice at this point.
To be
Yeah, that's
fair, prison was not a choice.
Yeah.
In most cases there, yeah.
It was an accident.
Oh yeah.
Prison was an accident.
I was
Well,
just
mine wasn't,
curious.
but-
Okay.
Yeah, how much do I regret this, and how much do I hate myself now?
Okay, well, no, you rolled a 25. Kenzie, after paying attention to that, you're now trying to look very quickly around to make sure you have everyone's surroundings and everything. It's going too fast, and now you're just seeing constant blizzards of snow. And
Too
at one
blurry.
point, you look to the right, and snow just hits you straight in the face, and you're partially just like, But everyone else doesn't see anything.
So unless you got a 20, you don't see shit.
I mean, even if you did, there wasn't anything there.
Yeah.
Ren rolled a 25 and didn't see anything.
Okay.
They are just so enamored with this blizzard that is literally anything but that goddamn prison yard.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well,
Do we move on and pretend we didn't animate the dead body and
yes.
just go?
Yes. Yes, we do.
What dead body? I don't know what you're talking about.
I
If
didn't
we
see
make
a
it-
dead body.
If we
I
make
like
it back
start
alive,
pushing
this is
snow
not
over the
mentioned
ice.
ever again.
As
I don't know.
as you guys start to move, you can start to hear cracking, and it seems like the ice from the jaw being moved and kind of animated starts to crack throughout the rest of the body, and you can see part of it just sort of splits.
Oh, this
Sounds
is not
great.
good.
That sounds great. Let's get out of here.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's book it.
Back into
Please.
conga line mode. Or
Let's go.
Are you traveling the same way that you
Bees
were then
music.
before?
I
Your
think
bees
so.
music playing in the background as we're just congo lining.
I mean, I
Hey,
do have
Bard,
music playing. in the
regale
background.
us. The bard regale us with tales of music.
Yeah.
I have
Hand flute.
I
We
have-
can do a duet.
I have Lear. Lear broken though. Lear has broken string. For
Oh.
various reasons. I hope
Oh,
we don't use
no.
it. I hope we don't need to use it.
So in the conga line format, who's the two in the back?
Oh.
Me.
I think I was second to last.
Yeah, I'm in the very back.
Okay, I need both of you to make perception checks.
Oh, that's
Uh-oh.
not gonna end well.
So comforting.
I see the snow.
Yeah. That's a 7.
Oh no.
I got a 16.
16?
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, so Roland, as you're kind of walking, the trudging of the snow being closer to the ground is sort of a lot more audible to you because your ears are closer to the ground than everyone else's. Kenzie, you hear just off to like your leftish side, or sorry, your right side, just the sound of moving snow, and then just a sort of
Yeah, I there's a moment where I go to look and then I'm like, nah, no. Like I turn in that direction and I cover my own eyes and then I will draw my sword and I'll just be like, here. And that's all I'll say. Like
And
just stammering it out.
Another wisdom check.
Look, or don't look, or like I'm just.
And
so
I
confused.
look.
Oh no.
as Kenzie is like stifling words and just like over there, look, don't look, but don't look, but cover your eyes over there. Ren, you just like absentmindedly what? And immediately about 15 feet, you can't see a physical form. Actually, it's more like 25 feet. You don't see any physical form because you can only see about 15 feet in front of you, but you see these yellow glowing segments of eyes, and I need you to make a certain check while everyone roll for initiative.
Oh goody.
Oh.
I will tell you what the check is in a second.
Oh, well,
Just because I need to know what page this is on.
I need to be a healer. I need to be a healer. Yeah, that's 12.
I need a healer.
Yeah, that's no. Yeah, that's 12. Math. Brain can't process math today for some ungodly reason.
I will be right
It's
back.
hard. It's okay.
Okay.
Ren, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Good. Also, my initiative is 28.
Nice. You might be going first, depending on the save.
Oh, Tyler, off key. Emily got a house. They got an offer on a
did?
house, and they finally got a house.
Oh my god.
FYI. Yep, they moved May 5th.
Oh wow, so they move before our wedding.
Yep.
Damn. They're gonna
I
have a busy
see.
May. You
Yeah,
what?
no
What'd you say?
kidding.
My save.
Oh, okay.
Big fat one
Okay.
for a total of 4.
Am
Not
I
that it
gonna have to
matters.
do animate the dead on you too to get your final words? This is not good.
Sorry.
No, this is good. This is good.
Or not animate the dead. Speak with the dead. That's the word.
Ren got a 28 for initiative. All right, cool. And what did you get, Roland?
I got a whopping 7.
7.
That's my
Seven.
magic number of the night, apparently.
Yeah, no kidding. It's your lucky number. It's a prime number. Okay, cool. Okay, so
Yeah, what happens?
top of the
What
initiative
happens?
order, Ren. As you look and you see these glowing yellow eyes, your entire body you could feel becomes sluggish. Your
Oh, no.
entire bit just like it's difficult to move the joints in your body, and your legs themselves are almost sticking to the snow. It's your turn though. Just so you're aware, you have 0 movement right now.
Oh,
Because
no.
right now your legs are frozen to the snow, effectively.
Okay.
And the snow is already also inhibiting your movement.
Am I able to take my turn to try and break the ice around my feet?
Sure, yeah. So you use your action, so you start to like go down and you try to hammer away at the snow that's at your feet.
Yeah, I've got like a crowbar that I can use.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's good to know.
Oh, I've got a hammer too.
Perfect.
Nice.
You are literally hammering away. I said that.
I'm literally hammering away, yes.
All right, yeah, no. So as you start to do this, how do I want to say this? Oh, this is a perfect song for this. But
That's concerning.
no, sorry. There's a song title that I have for royalty-free music. It's called "Frozen Sky," so it's kind of perfect.
I was like, it's probably called like freezing the bodies of your players.
100%, yes.
Yeah, no. So basically, you
Basically,
go down, you put the crowbar into the snow, you start hammering it in. That's when you notice that there's a crawling up hue of tinted blue that comes up your ankles. You are starting to freeze.
Guys?
At
Guys?
the end of your turn, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw with advantage because of your crowbar and hammer attempt.
21.
21.
So I think this is what the eyes did to that guy. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
As you
Sure
start to
does.
see that, you rip yourself out of the ground, and the tint of blue stops, and you take the hammer and you start like chiseling away at the blue, and it shatters away like glass, and your legs are completely still and still intact, which is the important part.
Oh, thank
Okay.
God.
We're good. We're good.
Okay.
And that's
Yep.
it. Now,
Anyway, over there.
because of the way that these creatures function, on your turns, if you wish to target the creature, you can either choose to view it, which will cause a similar effect, or you have to choose to not look its way. So, which will impose disadvantages and the like involved with blindness, effectively. But that going forward, that's sort of how you have to dictate your turns, is with sight or without sight.
Fair enough.
Risk
All right.
your legs getting frozen off, or risk missing the spell. Who knows?
Precisely.
Or the attack.
So, with that, the next one would be, well, what if this creature rolled high? Okay. Rushing out of the torrential winds, you see this creature with almost no legs and almost just like a slithering body that curls up towards you. Averting your gaze, you only see the body itself, but you don't see the head. And at that point, targeting the one that is closest, which is all of you, because you're on a conga line, I kind of forgot. It's targeting third in line, so Roland.
Oh, yay.
It comes in with its tail lashing out towards you. Will a 21 hit?
Yeah.
Alright. You suffer... Well, that's pretty crummy damage. You suffer 10 points of bludgeoning damage and are grappled. As the
So
tail...
for the
after
record,
hitting
I
you-
am a squishy wizard.
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 Third.
But the tail comes out and grabs you, and even though that it's like very long and sort of has this large mass to it, it wraps around you and is squeezing your core.
Awesome.
At this point, its head takes a bite at you as well, with a 13 to hit.
Yup.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Well, it was nice playing with y'all.
Right? I know. Actually, that wasn't terrible. That's a 21.
21. Okay. As it bites into you, you can feel the fangs sink directly into your shoulder as it's trying to pin you down and bite at you. When it pulls out, you can feel this pulse of cold that also starts to burn and the venom itself seems to be seeping into your wound, but due to resisting, you take half damage.
Not gonna make the bad joke. Not gonna do it.
From the bite, you take 9 points of piercing damage, and from the poison, you take 5 points of cold damage.
So I am below 0 hit points.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Everyone can see that the tail wraps around Roland and bites into her neck, and when she pulls out, you can see her go limp, but also convulsing in place.
Was that the half damage or was that the full damage?
That was the half damage.
Okay, that's what I thought, just
it rolled
making sure.
11 for poison.
Yeah.
Or for frost damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oof.
So yeah, I'm making death saves at this point.
Willow, you're up.
No, I'm a healer. I'm a healer. Okay.
Going so well.
As she's averting her gaze, she realizes that she's going to be looking down. She's going to look over behind her because they'll probably hear Roland scream or let out a yelp of sorts.
Yeah.
I mean, they're also
before
10
passing,
feet
you know?
from you. So.
Right. Healing word. That's not I touch a person. That's I can just cast it at them, right?
As long as they can feel, or as long as they can hear it.
Okay. I'm going to, as a bonus action, cast healing word at 2nd level towards Roland.
Malkara says that Roland's now she's just rolling on the ground.
Rolling on the ground.
Rolling in the grave.
This is why I
Right?
gave you the sub, because of the fucking timing on those. That's so fast.
I'm so sad I can't see this chat. My internet's not good enough to have like
That's
both
okay.
up at the same time.
So I nearly got you max for what a healing word at level 2 can do. I rolled 7 plus 4.
There
So
go.
you get...
That's like all your health.
Pretty much.
So you're alive. You're not making death saves anymore.
Good.
Did
Yeah,
you
you
roll a
got
D4 for
that.
your health or something?
Pretty much, yeah.
Good lord.
Oh.
All right, so what was the total?
7,
11.
4, 12. No, 11. Excuse me. That's 5. I
11.
can't math. I'm
That
sorry.
is difficult.
Math is hard.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, that's pretty close to full.
None of us are judging you for your math.
And then as an action, can she pull out the rapier from the parasol
Yes.
and try to stab at the creature that had Roland in their grasp?
Yep. Go ahead. You're averting your gaze, so make it with disadvantage.
Disadvantage? Okay. That's what I figured. Okay.
That didn't look
Disadvantage.
Great. That didn't look great.
I rolled a dirty 20, and then with disadvantage, I rolled an 8.
Unfortunately, as you go to swing, you're not sure where they are, and you're being very careful not to stab Roland as well. That's grappled by them.
which I appreciate.
So you're
Yeah.
swinging wide this way, and you just don't hit their head from that
Come
angle.
back to life just long enough to get hit by my own party member.
You see the tip of the sword, you're like, no thanks. The person who healed me wants to kill me, no. And
Brought
that
me
will
back to
be-
life only to kill me.
Only I can kill you.
Only I can. That'll be the end of Willow's turn then.
All right.
This is
Then
going
we
so-
go over to Kenzie.
Is the tail still grappling
Yes.
Roland? Awesome. I
Not awesome.
would like to.
Yeah.
I mean, not awesome, but
Very bad, totally. Yep. Mhm.
I assume with the way that it's like twisted because it bit and its tail is wrapped around its
Mhm.
face is probably pretty close to there. So I would just like to try to swing at the tail. I know I'm rolling at disadvantage, but I'm gonna try to hit the tail and not the gnome.
Okay. Go ahead
Okay.
and roll to attack.
Hit the tail, not the gnome. Hit the tail, not the gnome. Hit the tail, not the gnome.
And you do have extra attack too, right? So you should.
I
Be
have
able to
2
make
attacks.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one, I got a natural 20 and a 17 plus my other stuff.
Oh, it's gonna hit.
Oh my god.
So the first one
Yes.
hits. I wasn't expecting to make it this far. Let's see. Damage.
We've been rolling.
And what are you swinging with as well?
I have a great sword.
Great sword. Ooh.
And it glows. It's like it has like this blue glow to it that kind of lights up the area as well. That is 8 points of damage for the first one.
8 points of damage. All right.
And then feeling that I hit, I'm just gonna yank the sword out and swing for another one in the same place, hoping it's not the gnome.
You would have advantage on this attack due to your positioning of where you hit before, and also they refused to let go of Roland with the grapple, so you're at neutral for rolling, so you don't have disadvantage.
I assume an 11 is not gonna hit.
Unfortunately, no. As you go to swing down this time, since Roland is rather small, they just actually lift their entire portion of the body with Roland up there to avoid the attack and then slide back into place.
Oh no.
There's no place like Gnome. There's no place like Gnome. Kara.
Chat
Cat.
is on point
Cat is
today.
on fire tonight.
Yeah, and then I'll just square up and wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that, Roland! You're having fun!
Yeah, I would like to cast Burning Hands at 3rd level.
Okay!
That a gnome.
You know, they're probably not going to dodge, because A, they have disadvantage while grappling you. In my eyes, I would imagine something grappling you, being point blank, is going to have disadvantage. That was okay. That one was poo-poo. 5.
Yeah, that's not gonna save. Awesome.
Failed.
Okay, so that's 5d6 damage. And that is a 15.
15 points of fire damage. As you put your fingers together and these cone of flames shoot out from the tips of your fingertips and coast over this entity, you can see it also start to melt with the heat, all the snow that's like seems to be coming in from it, and it coasts over the body. When the flames come back, you can hear just this as
What?
the
Like a cat.
eyes of the entity are singed closed from this point blank expelling of
Jowie.
heat. It seems like it definitely prefers the cold over the heat.
Fantastic.
It definitely does not like fire in any
Sounds like
way,
a-
and it burns even deeper than you would imagine that
Oh.
normal
Sucks
flames
to
would.
suck.
Oh.
So
Ooh.
it's not happy, and its eyes are closed.
Rad.
All right, Ren, top of the initiative order. Well, let me see if it drops you from grapple. It does, so you are no longer grappled. If you have anything else that you would like to do with your turn, you are more than able to.
I would like to take a 5-foot step back.
Okay, you can take a 5-foot step back.
Yeah.
It's going to take an opportunity attack, even though it's blind with disadvantage. No one's okay. Will an 11 hit you?
No. Nice. No, it won't.
It
I was
goes to
gonna be like,
wrap
you go
its
down
tail
again.
back at you again, and this time you step back and almost duck under it, just like using your height
I do
to your
like
advantage.
Matrix thing.
Yeah, you lean back and just fall into the snow and pick yourself back up.
Yeah.
Just imagine a gnome being punted across the.
The gnome
Like a
lost in
lawn
the
dart.
wind, you'll never find them again.
Yeah.
Like, there
Peace
she
out,
goes.
guys. You are on your own.
Incredible. Okay. I am going to step up. This guy is being threatened by someone else, right?
Oh yeah.
A+, good shiz. Okay. And I am, how far away am I from it?
You're 5 feet.
5 feet, okay. As in like 5 feet between us, or am I next to it?
You're right next to it because you are next to Roland.
Okay. I'm sorry. It was important that I knew, because there's a thing I can only do if I haven't moved.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and bonus action steady aim to give myself advantage on the next roll because I have not moved. I can do that. And then I'm going to do a little smackaroony, and I imagine the advantage cancels out with not looking at it. Yes.
Its
Sorry,
eyes
I
are
was
seared
reading.
shut from the
Yep,
from the.
you are not at disadvantage because its eyes are seared shut.
Oh, well, gorgeous. I'll take that gorgeous sneak attack. Okay. Go ahead and roll that attack, and let's see if it does anything. That's unfortunate. Does it 16 hit?
16 does hit.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Some damage. I haven't played a rogue in like 6 years. I'm so sorry. Okay.
What class of rogue? Not to distract you.
Swashbuckler.
Yes.
I've always wanted to play one. It's so much fun.
They get sneak attack all the time. It's
Pretty
awesome.
much.
8, 10, 12. That is 16 ouch damage. And that is, I believe, my turn.
All right. It's definitely injured from all this. Like drastically.
Good.
Give me 1 second. Just doing math. I would like to state, just because I was not expecting the generosity that everyone has donated, we are already at $158 donated.
Oh, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for your incredibly generous actions, and I wish that I was better at doing this, but I will learn for the future.
It's a learning experience.
Anyways,
Totally.
at this point, it's its turn, and it's gonna slink away. It's gonna try to leave its space from Kenzie and Ren.
No.
Oh, and Willow as well. Oh, this is tough. It's not gonna work out, but it's gonna try. So all three of you can make all three of you can make attacks of opportunity if you so choose.
Just a
Yes,
straight
please.
roll, right?
Yep, straight roll because it's not. It doesn't have its eyes out.
That's 23
That's gonna hit.
for 12 points of weight. Yes, 12 points of weight. Sorry.
Don't you add sneak attack to that as well?
Yeah, do sneak attack.
Oh, beans!
I got a
It's one per
15.
turn. 15 will unfortunately miss.
Oh,
Oh,
16
Damn
is
it.
the number.
we both got
Oh.
a 15.
Yep.
20 points.
Wait, you both
Lifted.
got 15? I thought-
yeah.
Oh,
No,
oh,
I
just
only
rolled a
you.
15.
I thought
Yeah.
the last one that hit
Oh.
was 6. That was rolled was 15, but no.
No.
16.
20 points.
20 points of damage. Well, Ren, as it slinks away, you basically bring down your blade and cut into it, and it tries to like slink further away, but your blade just continues to cut down the back of it, and you can hear just this splat on the outside of your vision as it sort of has at this point started to coagulate into cold energy, and ceases to move.
Freeze me now, bitch!
Oh my god. Are we still in danger, or was this the only creature that we were aware
It
of?
seems
Buckles,
to be
I'm
the
in
only
danger.
creature that was there.
Oh no. Okay.
Why is that bad?
No. So it's rendered lifeless.
Rendered.
No, I'm
Nice
just saying
job,
oh no
Ren.
because I'm just saying oh no because we don't know what else is out there, but now we have to be extra careful because this one made a move.
Yeah, this one tried to kill us. This one
Yeah.
was like, no.
I mean, we were warned,
We were.
and unfortunately one of us looked at it in the eyes.
It turned out fine.
Yeah, and Min killed it. It's fine.
We survived.
It's fine.
Alive, mostly.
It's
For the
fine.
most part, kinda.
Willow will ask out, is anybody else severely injured or are we okay?
I could use a little more healing if you've got some.
I got you. How much are we missing from Roland?
7.
7.
You have 18 hit points.
I do. I have 18 hit points.
At
Oh,
level 6?
At level
my
6.
God.
How did that
It's
happen?
crazy. Terrible.
Do you have a negative constitution? You're a rock gnome.
I know. It's terrible.
oh my
Like, the
God.
level 1
What?
fighter could have more health than that. Good lord.
I'll cast some cure wounds on you at level 1.
Thanks.
That should
Oh, bring it from
hopefully
negative
give you
15.
enough.
Well, after
Well,
doing some
yeah.
healing- Oh.
12 points of healing. I rolled an
Oh, yeah.
max
Oh, yeah,
max healage.
Thanks. I feel better now.
I got you. I've got you.
Yeah, she's just rolling ones for all of her health.
Hey.
Hey now.
This is incredible.
Just
Anyways.
because it's true.
Okay, so what is it that you guys are all going to be doing? Are you still going to be traveling against the wind, or are you going to be doing something different?
I think Kenzie's probably standing there waiting for the wind to stop. Like, all right, we got it.
It does not stop after a good 30 seconds of sitting here.
Kenzie just, what do you want from me?
What
Well-
more do you need us to do?
Do we? I can get my parasol back together, obviously, and we can continue using that as protection from not only eyes but from the wind itself. And we keep going, or do we try to explore around here for a second and then keep going?
I vote follow
I
the wind.
think-
I think,
I think
yeah.
the longer we stick around, the more at risk we are.
I'd agree.
Agreed. I agree.
All right. So traveling against the wind continuously, you can feel the wind itself as you get further and further in. At this point, you've almost been traveling for about an hour in here, and the cold that washes over you, you know that if you were to try to stop moving, it could just easily tower over you and your momentum would just be lost. Fearing for your life if you were to try to stop moving. With traveling against the wind, going left and right, and consistently the wind changing every so often, there's an instance where just before the wind changes, Willow, you can feel the ground beneath you just almost cave out just before the wind pushes, but you stop yourself because the change in direction, everyone was reassociating. It's when, if you had been traveling forward still, it seems like the ground would have caved in under you and you might have fallen a significant distance if you had not been following the wind effectively.
Oh, okay.
Boy.
After traveling for about approximately an hour into this, you do find yourself sitting at a solidified structure. Much larger than before, stoned walls that seem to have two paws out, or hands rather, that are cupped out, one facing this way, the other facing this way. They are on one of each of the sides of doors, respectively. And the wind itself, now that you're kind of up against something flat, isn't as much on you. But this is a substantially large structure comprised of stone, as far as you can tell. The wind is still very much raging around here, and as you've gotten closer and closer, it's gotten more powerful and more severe.
Like,
Getting
how
to
tall
a
are we?
peak.
How tall are we talking here? Like,
Well, your vision is still secluded to about 15 feet, and the doors themselves are probably taller than the 15 feet.
okay. Got it.
Any sign of traps?
Make an investigation check.
Yes. Can I also keep an eye out for traps? Obviously, if Willow is leading the way.
I need to stop rolling dice. 10.
Looking at the door, looking at the ground, the snow, and the walls, doesn't seem to be any traps.
Good guys.
I would like to look for footprints, like giant footprints.
Okay. You can make a perception check. Willow.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't hear
yours is an
definitive
investigation
answer.
check. Sorry.
Investigation. Okay,
Yes.
That's a 6.
that's a nat 20, baby.
Okay.
Oh my god.
22.
Looking for giant footprints, there are none. And in fact, looking behind you, your own footprints are being covered up very quickly in the snow. Investigating the door. Wow, that's funny. I know you're drinking a Propel, but the blur looked like you were censoring the brand when you put.
I mean, I did take the like label off itself in case like Twitch had any problems. I don't think Twitch would, but just like
I'd be
did
screwed.
it
I'm
anyways.
drinking ice like left and right. I'd be toast.
Yeah. Here's the Propel wrapper.
Hashtag not sponsored. Anyways,
Nope.
looking at the door, there's the doors. There does not seem to be any traps, although your investigation shows that when you're looking at like the handles, the large sort of widened handles that seem to be pointed out like this, they're retractable. It's like when you touch it and pull, there's chains interlinked to it, and then after a few seconds, they pull back into its slot.
Maybe
They seem to also be rotatable, so they're like they're not like set down like this. They can be like turned and that sort of deal.
I just kind of like look up at Kenzie.
Are we touching this?
I'm fast. She's squishy. They're also squishy. You seem strong.
Okay. Does it look like they have to be facing the same direction for something to happen with them, or can we not tell?
It's hard to tell because when you put weight on them, even like a small amount of weight, they seem to immediately just go limp and start to fall from the chain, and then after a few seconds they lock back into it. They just like retract in. So if you were to like put them as the same thing as if they were trying to hold something, any amount of weight seems to just fall out from under them.
Okay, and if I kind of pull them out a little bit, does anything else happen?
I'm sorry, I was reading Luna's message.
I was just reading how completely screwed you all are.
That too.
So
Yeah.
what did you say, Kenzie? I'm sorry.
Well, 38's helpful.
Yeah, that's a lot different than 18.
I was concerned.
Just a little.
If I like pull the hands out does it sound like the chains are doing anything?
When you're pulling them, the chains themselves sound like they're kind of like on that, similar to like a drawbridge where it's just like that.
Okay.
It's same thing when you're pulling them out and they have those like interlinked locking sounds, and then it does it in reverse too.
So can I come to the conclusion that this is probably how the door opens?
Considering the fact that after some time of all just standing in front of it and collectively trying to push the doors, they don't seem to move.
Great.
So this is probably a method to open the doors.
A method to open the doors.
Is it because if one hand is facing palm down and one hand is facing palm up like this
With like the
Is it-
fingers curled as well.
with curls? Okay. Maybe it's give something and take something. Like you weigh something down and then it would then unlock for us.
Like put all my
'cause
weight on
we're-
the hand.
Yeah.
On one of them. I just hang from it.
Immediately it
Willow will
drops
help.
as you are doing that. Putting as much weight onto it as possible. After a few seconds, an immeasurable amount of strength starts to lift you with it as it goes to put itself back in the door.
I'm like, oh no.
Wait, can I push on the other one, like push it up?
Yep, you push it up. The other one still continuously goes in until it comes back out underneath, or whichever direction, whichever hand it was. The other one you push up, and after a few seconds, separately, it seems that it goes back into his door.
Okay. So it's not a give it weight, take it weight, or take weight.
Take weight.
Shake weight.
Is there any kind of writing around it anywhere?
Make,
Yeah. Would Willow have noticed that with that 20?
Yeah, with the investigation check. Just out of curiosity, there's like etchings of things into it. What are your languages by chance?
That is a fantastic question. Celestial, Common, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, and Gnomish.
The odd one out here for me is Sylvan and Thieves' Cant, but
Undercommon.
There's some weird etchings on it.
Great.
It's probably giant. Damn
Probably
it.
in a dialect that none of you can apparently make notice of upon first glance until you started to question if there was writing on it. Then there are etchings that just don't make any sense.
Yeah, it's probably giant.
Okay.
Damn it.
No arrows, no pull or push.
No.
No, like hieroglyphs anywhere to like tell us,
Yeah.
like this is what you do step by. It's like the like non-English instructions that tells you.
It's not
step by
like the
step by
IKEA
pictures.
directions.
Yeah.
Walk this
Diagrams.
way. Don't go
Yeah.
against it.
I
Follow
have
it.
Yep.
maybe an idea that's not going to go well.
Great. Let's hear it.
Can you do me a favor and pull that handle down again?
I pull it.
Okay.
And as soon as it gets to its nadir, right, I'm going to pull out my immovable rod and click it in place above it. See if I can stop it from going back in. So if there is less than 8,000 pounds of force behind it, it'll hold it. If it's more than 8,000 pounds of force, it'll fall.
I was not expecting this. I am so excited about it because what ends up happening is...
Oh, no.
So the hand comes out, basically, and you're putting the immovable rod in here, or are you putting it in one of the chains?
I'm putting it like in the thingy. I'm basically putting it to try and prevent it from going back up.
Okay, so you're basically trying to, like, since it's curled fingers, you're putting it in the hand and stopping it?
Yeah,
With that?
yeah.
Okay. As you do that, you can see the chain links that come in, they start to move, they just go... And you hear this clicking sound. And from the side of that portion of the door, because it's two sides, you could see it start to just slide to the right some.
Slide to the left.
Right.
Slide to the left.
And after a
Chris,
few
girl.
seconds, you can see that it creates just a small enough gap that you could possibly walk through.
Okay.
You
So before anyone
genius.
walks through, let's make sure that let's see what happens if I click it back. I click it off.
And you take it. It starts to retract back in, but the passage stays there. So basically, to put it into perspective, you're looking at like a flat wall with an etching that looks like a door, pretty much like a large, just double-sided door, and with two hands poking out the sides. When you pulled the one, it created it kind of tilted the door. It didn't actually push or move or open or anything. It tilted slightly, like a stone rock, and it went in. So now that it's going back in, it doesn't slide back into place. It's still just wide open.
Click.
Yep. And the doors, the rock door stays open.
Well,
I would like to volunteer to be the first one to go in when we're ready for that.
I will follow suit and try to go second behind you.
I'll go last.
I was gonna say, I guess I'll stay third.
All right.
You got to make sure you don't move.
Yep.
So Kenzie, peeking in, it's pitch black in here.
I have
But
my sword.
Your sword, as you peek in, you bring it out, and it shines out light in a 30-foot.
Bright It's bright light and 15 feet and dim light an additional 15.
So yeah, in total 30 feet of light. Pretty much like a half torch.
Mhm.
When you bring it up, you can see the mechanism behind the stone structure. You can see it's on the same sides for both. And there's like scratch marks on the ground. It seems like the amount of pressure needed to pull them was probably both of the hands being cupped and then trying to pull themselves. And that would slide the doors open fully.
That's clever.
Okay.
Interesting.
But it was done in like a weird sort of like method that it definitely had enough strength to pull open one side, and that allowed you guys in. Apart from that, the entirety of this room caked in ice. Cobwebs that seem to have been frozen in place in time, and the ground itself slick with ice, piles of snow in certain portions that are solidified. There's no bodies though. There's no like corpses or anything of the sort. It's just the entirety of this room seems to be caked in ice with what looks to be like a passage at the other end.
Any sign of recent life at all?
Looking around, judging by the frozen cobwebs and the piles of snow that seem to have been solidified, no. Doesn't seem like there's been even passage in here in a very long time.
F. I guess do we just go to the door at the end of the creepy door, the creepy passageway?
Yeah. let's
Yeah.
go.
That's the obvious
Yeah.
choice, right? Yeah. Okay.
Nothing else to do.
Are there like giant objects in here? Like a giant shoe or, you know?
Looking in here, it definitely seems like there's pretty much a massive sized table
Cool, cool.
that's pretty much at this point disintegrated from age and mildew and everything like that. Remnants of a table would be probably a better term for it. But the device for the door is definitely large, and the chains themselves are massive. So it's probably a great, it's a good direction of thought that these are probably devised by giants and created by giants for giants. But apart from that, you don't see like giant weapons or anything like that. Okay, so you're going towards the passage. When you get close to the passage, that's where you can feel gusts of air washing in. Not powerful like the torrential winds of the blizzard outside, but just strong breaths of air, and you can hear just
Can Willow send out another message towards the breath? Well, first off, can Willow just send out another message towards where the breath is at?
Yeah, you can go ahead and try. You point, and what do you say?
Hi, please help. We mean no harm. We want to help. Is there any way that we can help end the snowstorm that's going on? And then she'll just kind of wait.
Tired. Let me sleep.
Something tells me that this man just wants to sleep.
He needs to sleep somewhere else.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god! I just realized. I'll say it at the end of the one shot. I accidentally did a video game reference for this whole thing.
Inadvertently.
That's what they all say.
I prefer my vertents to be I tried. I can't. I got nothing.
You prefer your vertents to be
It was good effort.
Thank you. I appreciate
Look,
your.
You're not Malkara, all right?
Just just giving up across
I
your face was
normally
just the
am,
best.
and like anyone who knows me here can attest to that, but not tonight.
Well, you did say you were running on like 2 hours of sleep, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And the aftermath of a
That's
2-day
fair.
long headache.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yep. That'll do it too.
Anyway. Hadabadaba. Wee.
He's gonna start going in the tunnel.
I was like, I think we're all getting loopy now.
You're
He's
all
getting
you're all heading
impatient.
towards the passage. It's not like a tunnel. It's more like a hallway,
Like a giant hallway.
like a giant hallway.
Sweet. I just need you to emphasize that everything is giant.
Yes,
Sweet.
everything is giant, including the stones that you step on, because you can see that the kind of like they're like bricks, but they're giant bricks. So they're
Great.
bigger bricks than normal bricks, and they're
Love
in
giant.
Morse code, which is really weird. But
Are
You'd
you
think
sure
they'd
there's
be in
not like?
Braille.
Yeah, I was about to say, is there not any like braille on these bricks that we can like try to read?
sorry, you can't read Undercommon. So
I can't, but I thought somebody else
And-
could.
yes, you can.
You don't want to know what it says.
Now it
It says,
that
I
would be-
turn
As a yo
back
mom-
if I were you.
It just has a yo mama joke on there. It's like, you don't want to read this.
No, it just
It's
says,
real
"Fuck off, I'm
insulting.
tired."
Like if you thought yo mama jokes were bad, this one's really bad. Just don't ask.
Oh my
Now
god.
I want to know.
Right?
Saying don't
Right.
worry about it is the fastest way to get someone to worry about it.
Is saying don't
Right.
worry about it? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah,
it's the same thing
that's-
with like, don't do that. Well, I want to do it now.
I want to touch it now.
Don't push the button.
Don't look. Wait.
Yeah.
Don't look. Wait, really?
So,
Yeah.
walking into the passage, the giant passage.
Thank you.
Immediately after, probably about like 15 feet in, you can definitely tell this is a long hallway that extends probably about like 150 feet. Halfway in, you can see that there seems to be like clumps of ice in that same sort of bluish tint, and like thickened pieces of snowballs, and it seems like there's like things that were condensed with like pressure in there. And when you take a step in, oop, the call went minimized for some reason. There we go. Everything is still in the same direction that it once was. Yes. Okay, cool. I don't know why Zoom minimized for a second there. Anyways, once you take a few steps in, getting probably about like 15 feet, this voice shouts in common directly out towards you. Let me sleep! And
Sleep
directly
somewhere
behind
else.
you, the passage freezes over as the air pushes out. The giant passage is now a giant iced wall. And
Uh-oh.
in front
I
of
can
you,
help with this.
in front of you, you can see there seems to be like another passage that's filled up, or not another passage, but another wall that's covered the end. But you could tell that, judging by what sounds like screeching, thickened pieces of metal on stone, that ice wall is coming closer to you and is getting closer.
Great.
Okay.
Mr. Giant Man, can you please sleep somewhere else?
We've been trying to contact you about your car's extension.
This seems like a very stable way of resolving that issue. I'll extend my warranty if you get through this passage. How about that?
Deal.
Does the wall that's coming towards us look really thick?
It looks, judging by the fact that it's also scraping the stones off the wall, it seems very strong. Or at least the material seems very strong. Stronger than the stone, at least.
Ren just kind of looks down at their movable rod. I don't think this is gonna do it, guys.
So just to clarify, is there two passageways? One is blocked with ice, and then the other one that has this wall that's coming at us.
It's like you're in the hallway.
Yeah.
It's just, there's two entrances to that
Two,
hallway.
yeah. Okay. All right.
So it's basically like a closed wall scenario.
Yep. Okay.
Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Or
Can-
Star Wars.
Can
Trash
Willow
compactor.
Can Willow look around and see if there's like a divot somewhere in like the wall that they could all try to hide into.
Make an investigation check. Anybody else want to do anything as this wall is still approaching? As
Yeah,
Willow
well,
is like
you're-
searching the ground, searching the walls, patting everything.
While you're doing that, I would like to burning hands the ice wall.
Okay.
Which one? Which one? The one blocking us or the one coming at us?
The one coming at us.
Okay, in
so
that
you
case-
run up ahead.
I would like to hit the wall or hit the one that's blocking us with my sword just to try and shatter some. If we can't get anything else done, we can at least go back.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Sure.
Unnatural 20 for that investigation check.
20. So you're looking at the walls, you're looking at the ground, you're putting your hand up against everything as Kenzie brings out their greatsword and starts slamming it into the wall, into the ice wall, trying to create some sort of mark or crush and shatter bits of ice as Roland is running up to burn some ice with her hands. You notice there's no shear to these walls. They seem to have been very meticulously constructed with fine craftsmanship, and they're almost like perfectly chic. Or sheared, not chic.
There's not like a single flaw to these walls.
Not even remotely. Even though the entire area has also been frozen and coldened and all these and moisture, they seem to be very well constructed. Yes, Ren.
Can I try and find any evidence of like a hidden door or another way out?
Okay, make an investigation check as well. Roland, so you're running
Yes.
up, you put your hands out, you cast Burning Hands at this. Are you casting at first level?
I am casting at 3rd level.
3rd level, okay. So you
I
run
want to
up.
get through this wall.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Let's see. That is 17 damage.
Okay, so you slide up, you come to a complete stop. At this point, it's probably moved about 40 feet closer to you guys, so there's only about 100 feet left, for reference. And the fires come out of your fingertips. You can see it coast straight into the flames, or into the ice wall itself. And as it's still coming closer and closer, you can start to see the flames themselves are lipping off of it.
Oh
just
no.
kind of brushing off the sides of the ice, leaving no distinguishing mark. Kenzie, you're slamming your greatsword into this wall, and there's not even a sliver of shards cut into it.
Oh no.
That's a 19 on investigation,
Okay.
and I'd like to toss whoever is like by the moving wall my movable rod and be like, here, try this. Why not? And then go look for things.
Okay. Roland, there's an immovable rod that's just clattered to the ground, a steel bar with several horse heads on both ends of it. You're looking for hidden walls and everything like the sort. You run up to like probably the middle area as Willow is searching for any sort of crevice to kind of hide in or outcropping. And as you're looking for as much space as you have, you don't seem to find any sort of hidden passage or anything that really stands out in general. Roland, are you doing anything with the immovable rod?
I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna be like, what did you want me to do with this? Put it where? I'm 3 feet tall.
Just turn into Voldemort for a second. Abracadabra.
Yeah, right.
Abracadabra to the
See if
wall.
you can get it to stop the wall.
Is it? I'm trying to assess if it would be better to wedge it up from the side to side of the wall or from the front to the back, like so that if it basically would act like so that it can't compress, like close the walls together any further.
Assuming that it doesn't have 8,000 pounds of pressure.
Right. Assuming that it doesn't.
Yeah, Ren is fully expecting this to fail, but they're just like, what else are we gonna do?
So I guess at this point, Roland's gonna take the immovable rod and wedge it from side to side so that the wall is coming at it broadside, if that makes sense.
So you're having like one of the horse heads basically poking at it?
No, the opposite way.
Oh, so you're having it sideways like this, like a bar, like a handlebar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you click it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you put it there. Is it like in the center of the wall, or is it like in the corner piece, or anything like that? Anything funky?
I guess it's, well, I mean, the wall is probably, like, I know it's a giant wall, but it's probably even extra giant because I'm small. And
True.
so it's probably going to be like, I would guess maybe like not even a third of the way up.
It's about 15 feet, so.
Okay. And so it's like a fifth of the way up. And and so it's kind of like, I guess as best as it can, like to secure it, sort of wedged between the walls. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really know how better to describe it.
No, I think I get you. Okay, so you place it where you best, like, you're trying to gauge like where this would be most used, and you click it, and it stays stationary. And as the walls collide into it, you could definitely tell that it's immediately halted, but not permanently. It does seem to have more than 8,000 pounds of pressure, but because of the way that the immovable rod works, it's drastically slowed it to almost a crawl.
Okay.
So it's giving you lots more time, but it's not fully solved the problem right now.
Okay. Well, that's something at least.
So, still just hacking away at this thing, getting frustrated that it's not working. I want to just take a step back and look up. Does the ceiling have anything?
The ceiling seems to have like these droppings of like huge icicles.
Okay, I don't want to look at those. I'm done. I'm done. I'm like, oh, I'm upset that I looked at those.
I have one more idea.
Great.
What?
Great. What is it?
Okay. I kind of like turn to the non-moving wall, and I pound on it, and I say, and I'd like to shout, we aren't here to wake you up on purpose. It's just whatever's happening here is hurting people, and if we could just get you to move up the mountain a little bit or something, like find somewhere else to sleep. We just don't want to die. Please let us in so we can talk. We'll make you tea.
We have tea.
that look is great. We have tea.
I could use a minor illusion and try to make it look like we have tea.
Can you use prestidigitation and make it taste like tea?
Yeah.
Hey, that works.
Just melt it
That
If
works.
it looks like tea and it tastes like tea.
It has to be tea.
It's hot cocoa.
So we can talk about this.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
That's fair.
But we have tea.
We have tea.
Can Willow? Can I give Bardic inspiration before that point? Because she likes the idea of what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I give some Bardic inspiration before you start rolling, so that way you can add on to it?
Yes, I did already roll. Do you want me to re-roll?
No, it's fine. You can keep it. She wanted to give you Bardic Inspiration before the roll anyways, so regardless of what you rolled, it wouldn't impact that, I feel.
What is it, like a D8 at this point?
I believe.
D8, I think,
Let me triple check that, but I think D8 is what it is.
It starts at D6, and I think at 5 it goes.
Right.
Yeah, D8. Yep, D8 right now.
So that's a 9 plus 7 is 16 plus 5, 21.
Ooh.
Okay. Let me think of how this works here.
That's such a nice thought. Thank you.
Oh, hey, thanks, you. But I like my place. Okay, so as you like banging on the back wall that you came from, just like screaming this out to whoever is on the other end listening, a deeper voice seems to pick out, "Then break my ice."
We're trying, buddy.
I'll just swing again. What an asshole.
I don't think
I
it
will
would
hand out
do anything.
crowbar and my hammer
Okay.
to anyone who can use them.
At this point, the wall is probably about 90 feet away, pushing up against the like bluish ice that was in the center of the room or the center of the passage, and the crumpled snow. It seems to be pushing that now with it.
Oh God, I don't know if it's gonna do anything.
Try it,
Can
whatever
do
you're gonna
anything
do.
with it.
Quite literally
Okay,
no time.
Willow is going to look at the moving wall. Can people like step up like 15 feet back from said wall for a second, please? I need you to step away from wall, please.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Then she's going to pull her lyre that has the broken string, and she wants to pluck the broken string towards the wall to see if there's can be any kind of shatter to it.
Okay. So
I'll obviously have to
knowing-
make my own
Yes.
my own save.
So knowing how your harp works, or your lyre works, and why you primarily requested it from Hazel to begin with, you pluck the string, and when you do, you can see that magical energy from it just stretch out, and then snap as it comes out. Everyone around can hear this resounding, just shrill audio and verbal, or not verbal, and like
Well,
ringing
audio.
sound that resonates outwards.
In Braille.
Yeah, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Willow.
And that's why I asked everybody to step 15 feet back, because it's in a
Yep.
15-foot space around me, and I'm like, stay away from me for a second.
Yeah.
'cause
Understandable.
please. If I knock out, I knock out. It's not you guys. Well, I made my save. I have a DC of 15 and I rolled 18.
Okay. I believe you still take half damage, correct?
Charisma saving, so
If it doesn't specify, then you take none. But I do not.
target fails, they suffer 3d10. No, it just says that if I want to use it again, I have to use spell slots, or after a long rest, I recharge it. But
Gotcha.
that's beside the
Okay,
point,
then,
so I don't take any
if
damage.
If they passed, then they don't take damage in general. The
Yep.
wall is not gonna make a save because it's a
It's a one.
It's a wall.
It's a wall.
I'll make a roll. It would have failed anyways. It didn't matter. That dice is dead to me. But anyways.
No,
You know
keep
what?
rolling it.
He's
Keep
by all
rolling
means,
it
keep
for now.
using
You know what? Yeah, I'll keep
Yeah.
rolling it for the sake of time. As you pluck it, you can see the like almost the sound waves hitting the ice wall, and you can see bits and pieces of it cracking all over, and it starts to just crumple, and then you can see the immovable rod slide into one of the cracks and just go.
Put pressure on it. Smack it. Smack it with your great
Yeah.
sword.
I immediately start running up and just going at it.
Smacking it. Okay,
Yeah.
as you do, you can see that at some point the wall isn't like the passage length in width. It only comes out probably about like 6 feet or so, and you can see it once it kind of moves at 6 feet, and the immovable rod pops out the other side. That it's like it created this like little hole where the immovable rod was, and it slides down some. So you come out and start slamming into that, and you're pushing that chunk out, and it creates pretty much like a small passage that
Like-
individuals could crawl through.
Great. So once that's clear, I'm just like, go, 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 go.
Yep.
Somebody helping Roland in because it's in an
Yeah.
upper. It's in an upper position because it kind of slid down from where the immovable rod was, but
Yeah, I will go last.
easily enough after creating such a passage, with plenty of time too. You hop in, crawl through as it slides out, and you can see it continue to move beyond as you guys are on the other side of it.
Oh, thank goodness.
We did it, Cassie
It
Cat.
stops and starts moving backwards. Oh no, no!
Actually, a metal door comes down with spikes that point out, and you see a small Buzz Lightyear toy running towards you. But other than that, the passage at this point is clear. And oddly, the walls are very sheen and like glistening from the pressure that the ice was pushing onto it.
Pretty walls.
Yeah, it's a great design.
They have a nice sheen to them.
If only it wasn't trying to kill us.
Right?
Only it wasn't trying to speak in Braille.
With yo mama jokes in the wall.
Giant.
Dappers.
If it's in Braille, is there Braille giant? Or is it all just Braille?
You would assume that there would be different variants of Braille. So
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like how sign language has different
Mhm.
variants.
Yeah,
Variants,
regional
depending.
variants. Yeah.
Yep.
So it wasn't really a your mama joke. It was bad translating.
Yes,
Yep.
that was it.
You know what? I think I have to make that canon
How-
in some of my games now. Like-
How very incredibly brilliant.
That was good.
Nice.
no.
Oh,
Like,
and no, it's
no,
actually
there's
just
credit.
giant Braille. That's all it is.
It's
Uh,
just one giant circle that says "I owe you" on the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will shout, "We did it!
we broke your ice.
Done.
There doesn't seem to
Can
be
we
a
talk
voice.
now?"
Doesn't seem to be a voice.
Where are you?
As you exit this passage, you come into a large standing room after pushing open what looks to be like kind of like what you would imagine in, I guess, fantasy logic, freezer doors. Kind of like just pale white with like a metal hinge to them. And when you pull it open, this gust of wind comes out. But inside seems to be this large, standing, crystalline, frozen room. And on the floor, you can see is a 20-foot tall, frozen, and pale blue frost giant laying across the ground.
Called it.
You absolutely did.
I know history.
That was
So
Arcana. Thanks very much.
Arcana history.
So those could have absolutely been giant loogies coming at us
They
without
could
us
have
even
been.
realizing it.
That's
Actually, just past gas the entire time.
Oh.
Sorry, guys, I farted.
every wave is just a stronger fart. Oh god, that's why it smelled so bad. It smelled like a cow farm.
Oh
Ugh.
my god. Anyways,
Cow farms in the summer. Ugh.
you see
Hey.
this as you enter the room. Will also let my cat in because he seems to be screaming.
Here, I've
and
got it.
blowing
Here,
the
you
door.
you continue. I will
Okay.
get the cat.
He's upsetty.
Hey,
Hello.
did we break your ice? Okay. Should we do some more icebreakers?
As he's laying there,
Icebreakers.
his motions don't seem to be moving a lot. His entire physique, kind of getting closer and closer, his entire physique is more pale and withered than natural. Almost like they have been starved or are malnutritioned and
Malnourished?
Thank you.
Got you.
Nourished didn't exist in my brain there.
Words are
But-
hard.
Words are
Oh man.
Especially in Braille.
Yeah.
Especially in giant
Is
braille.
Giant braille man.
It's just the joke of this one shot. It's beautiful. I love it.
But so they don't give you much of a response other than just like gasping breaths. I just want to sleep.
So I know with hypothermia you're not supposed to go to sleep, but also I don't think you're hypothermic because you're a frost giant. You kind of look a little hungry. What do you need?
He doesn't give a response. How are you getting any closer or anything?
A
I'll
little,
take.
Ah.
like itching.
Yeah, I'll take a couple steps as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will too. And I want to
Don't eat
whisper,
us.
or not really whisper, but I want to say over to Roland, do you have detect magic by chance?
I
See if there's
do.
anything on him. I do have a lesser restoration. See if
Well,
we
I
can
do have
try to
detect
relieve
magic,
his
so
pain. Relieve pain of sorts here. If it's something that we can do, is
Yeah.
the big thing.
I was gonna actually ask about casting detect magic anyway, so that works out. I
Are
wanted.
you gonna be ritual casting it or just straight casting it?
I'm gonna just straight cast it.
Okay, make it an instant.
Yeah.
Okay, so as Kenzie and Ren are approaching the frost giant, Roland, you cast this detect magic. Willow, are you staying back or are you sticking with the other two?
I'm going to stay with Roland just because Willow had asked her to do so. So they just want to be nearby and kind of be at the ready for what they say,
Fair enough.
if it's possible.
When you cast detect magic, you don't see anything over them in general. There's actually no magic in this area. Like, you have a range of view, but on them there's no magic. On the door there's no magic. Kenzie and Ren, I need you both to make perception checks quick.
Good. Also looking for any bones of old adventurers and shit.
Okay.
That is a 19 for me.
That is a 23 for me.
23. So looking for old adventurers' bones, there's nothing. There's not even any corpses in here. There, apart from it being kind of like an ice box, there's nothing. The room itself is probably about 100 feet and would be akin to like an auditorium without any furniture or anything of the sort. When both of you get closer, you both can easily determine there's something on the back of the giant's head. Something pink and fleshy.
Oh, Jen knows what this is. Okay.
I don't know if you do.
Well,
you might.
Guys, do you see that?
Yeah.
Guys, there's a brain.
It does look akin to a brain.
Guys, there's a brain on his
I
head.
was afraid you were gonna say that.
When you say that,
Oh.
you can immediately feel the ground start to shake softly as the frost giant immediately just puts both hands up and lifts itself. Stay away from me.
We just want to help you.
There any way at all that as he's getting up, I can see if I can swing onto the back of his neck?
Make an acrobatics check.
Don't roll a one, don't roll a one, don't roll a one. Okay, 23.
I'd say
Here we go.
that it's definitely plausible for you to have grabbed onto the frost giant as he lifts up. Maybe not directly onto his head, but probably more of the clothing that he's wearing. With you being on him, though, he does immediately just look back. Get off of me! Get off! And he puts his hands up, and immediately, directly in front of him, thick walls of ice shoot up into about 20 feet of height, intersected between Roland, Willow, and Kenzie from the two. It's not like the entire room is cut in half. It's like a cone of walls have shown out in front of him. And I will need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh my god. Well, Roland, I would say we're in a better position here.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, this initiative sucks, but
You want us to put it in the chat?
Sure, yeah, that's just easier.
My hands were on the wrong, my name is Kinos now.
Weird.
Hello,
Kratos' brother. It's weird.
It's not a bad
Hey
name.
there,
I guess.
Kinos. I actually like that name a little bit. It's not bad.
You're welcome. Ooh, we both got 23.
You both can go at the
And
same
then-
time then.
and then we got that lovely 6 going.
Yeah.
Good.
So, top of the initial order, Kinos and Ren.
Damn it. How tall is this wall?
The wall itself is 30 feet.
Ah.
So it pretty much encompasses most of the ceiling. There's about 5 feet of a gap.
Okay. How thick is this wall?
The thickness of the wall is 5 feet. 5 feet thick.
Ah. Okay. Interesting. I don't think I can. Is it feasible for me to roll strength and try to bust through this thing?
You can certainly try.
I will try.
I love
Go
that.
ahead.
I'm not the brightest character, okay?
Brute force.
Okay, that's
Hey, I
fine.
like it. Go ahead and make an. Let's do an athletics check.
Athletics.
Do it.
24.
24. So you shoulder check into this wall, and it doesn't really budge. You can kind of gather that though it's a different material, you definitely left a crack in it. A pretty sizable one is at that. If you were to like hit it probably again, or if some sort of like larger amount of force were to hit it simultaneously, then it would probably break down and create like a small passage for you. But it's still a pretty thickened wall that's roughly about 30 feet wide and 30 feet tall with 5 feet thickness. It's a pretty dense wall of ice. You could shoulder check it again.
I was gonna say I have 2 attacks.
Yeah,
I
I
might
was
as
like,
well
I
just.
feel like that's an attack.
That is a 17.
17. Another one, you slam into it, you're actually getting a pretty good chunk in, and you're able to kind of just keep pushing. With the rest of your movement, I'd say you'd be able to tunnel your way through the portion of the wall.
Okay, I stumble through and I'm like, ah, that hurt. And
It's
that's my
definitely
turn.
cold. All right, Ren.
Okay, is there a way that I can like scurry up to the back of its neck?
Oh yeah, with difficulty because he is flailing.
Okay.
It seems involuntarily, considering how little energy he had before. Something
Yeah.
is stimulating
Yeah.
these movements.
Do you want to check or anything for it?
No, because you had the good acrobatics check before. I'd say that your acrobatics is what's keeping you on there, and on his turn, you might have to make another one.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you can
so
scurry
I
up
will-
and use your movement to get to the top of his head.
All right. So I scurry up. I use the movement. This is a weird question. I recognize this. However, does my rakish audacity apply here? Because I am within 5 feet of it. No other creatures are within 5 feet of me, and I don't have disadvantage that I'm aware of. Is that cool? Even though I'm like actively being tossed around by it.
Yeah, I'd say that's fine. Because
Right.
what it is I'm assuming you're targeting, not him, you're targeting the weird fleshy thing.
Yes. Yes.
Considering the nature of the way that it's kind of doing its thing, yeah, you would definitely be able to use your feature for it.
Great. So I will have my sneak attack. I'm going to try and hit it. Let's see what happens. That's bad. Does a 13 hit it?
It does not. As you go to hit it, almost without like looking, he tilts his head down and you almost whiff straight off of the back of his neck.
Can I bonus action? Okay, so what is he wearing clothing at all?
Yeah, he's wearing pretty much like leather furs and stuff like that. So like leather armor with fur pelts across it.
Can I bonus action hide in the fur pelts?
Yeah, I'd say yeah. You're
All right,
pretty. You're in fur pelts yourself in some portions of your armor. So being able to, and since they're giant as well, these are giant fur pelts. So it's a lot easier to be able to hide within it, kind of like a shrub. So you're just kind of like trying to hide into it.
All right. And my stealth check is a 30.
Oh,
Okay.
what? Oh my god.
Weird. I
19
felt
plus
felt
11,
something on my
baby.
back there. I think it's
19
just the
plus
wind.
11.
Oh my
Kenzie
god, Rose.
bursts through the ice wall and is like, "Oh no, they're gone."
Where'd Ren go? They're dead. All right.
8 Ren.
Roland.
It ate red.
Roland, you're up. You see
Oh,
that
no.
a small passage has been carved into the wall by Kenzie. Otherwise, you do not see the frost giant.
Okay. Can I get through the hole that has been?
Oh yeah, it's about 20 feet, so you can get through it and be pretty much standing next to Kenzie.
Okay, that's what I would like to do.
Okay. For reference, you are about 15 feet from the frost giant.
Okay, perfect. I'm guessing. Yeah, that's a touch spell, so I can't get there. I think that's all I'm gonna do right now.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Frost Giant's turn. As he's kind of flailing, looking for Ren on his back, I'll make a perception check. It got a natural 1, so it didn't matter. You could have been, like, standing on his head and he would lose you.
Like riding his ear back and forth.
But he does see the 2 others directly in front of him. And at that point, he brings his fist up and collides straight down at the 2 of you. Will a 15 hit both of you? Roland, does a 15 hit you?
It does.
Okay. I don't have any more of these. Okay, I guess
This
can...
time we don't have to worry as much with you having 38
know.
hit points instead of 18.
I'm slightly less squishy now.
It's still squishy, but slightly less at this
Yes,
point.
slightly less.
You suffer 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow!
As when he slams down and the fist collides into you, it almost sends you flying straight back against the wall. But when he pulls it back, you can see there's like thick layers of ice that coated across his hand just before the impact. That's the end of his turn. He's still flailing, so Ren, I need you to make an acrobatics check just to keep your positioning. I'll give you advantage because you have more positions to hold your hands with the fur.
21.
Easily. And that's the end of his turn. So then we go over to Willow.
Okay.
Same thing
They
to you.
want-
You do not see them, but you're about 20 feet away from the passage that will allow you to get to the other side of the ice wall.
Okay. They will go the 20 feet to get to the other side. And thus seeing the giant, Willow wants to cast Hold Person on the giant to try to hold them in place to stop them from flailing. And so hopefully that Warren can try to go in and attack
So
a little
this
bit
is
more
something
clear.
that Willow would know. Hold Person affects humanoids. This is a giantkin. They are not
okay.
humanoid, and
Never
also you could target a different creature.
The creature that's on its neck, on the back of its head is humanoid?
Oh, right. Duh, I immediately forgot the humanoid part. I'm an idiot.
I'm like, that's a humanoid.
Yeah, no, the
So
brain
it's
thing is humanoid.
so it's just
It just
mother
got more
brain
creepy.
just chilling on top of its head there.
I don't know why. I don't even know why. Because
Okay.
I can also tell you that hold person would not work on him anyways due to his
Oh.
other effect.
Oh, okay.
And that would be why my confusion was stemming to the brain thing.
Sounds beautiful. Okay. Then as an action, Willow wants to cast Dissonant Whispers at 3rd level.
Okay.
The giant needs to make a wisdom saving throw of 15 or higher.
Now this is interesting. This does psychic damage, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I just need to know what players instead of a certain. It's a wisdom save?
Wisdom save, yes.
14.
Does not save.
Alright.
I need more d6s. Sure. Sure. I need a 5th one? Oh boy. I was not prepared to throw out Dissonant Whispers in this moment. Alright. Oh, she's gonna cast out Dissonant Whispers, and she's going to say something in the whispers. She's gonna be like, "Who hurt you, buddy? How can we help you?"
Some dispers.
Oh, that was kind of some poo-poo numbers there. And Tyler can attest, I roll d6s just for the shits and giggles of it, and I roll insane high numbers, but then when I actually need to roll it, it's kind of poo.
If she rolls for stats, she's consistently getting 18s. It annoys the hell out of me.
Just a little bit, and I apologize sometimes.
Although when you were rolling for stats for this character, it was not great.
No, it was not.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yes.
In total, she did 22 points of damage or psychic damage.
Nice. Okay. So when you do that, you immediately hear the sound of like a pained tension, and you can see the frost giant put his hands up to his ears. But it's almost as if the shrill sound isn't coming from the frost giant. It's coming from that weird, small, fleshy creature on the back of his head. Seems to be siphoned the damage from the frost giant.
Okay.
Part.
Okay.
Yep. Anything else that you want to do?
Yeah, bonus action. I'm going to give another point of bardic inspiration to Warren this time, so that they can add onto their damage if needed, or if they would like.
Who? Warren?
Ren?
Warren? Sorry, did I
Roland?
say that? No. God, I'm
Roland.
blanking. Huh?
Ren?
Roland, Ren, Kenzie.
Ren.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
You have
fine.
a W on your name, and I'm just like, did I just say that horribly wrong? No.
No, I'm
You added an
sorry.
A. That's all it was.
Yeah, I added an A.
Okay, it's okay. Oh, you muted yourself. You
Wait,
muted yourself.
no. Harry's muted. Olivia's not.
No, I know. Olivia's headphones can mute.
Yeah, muted on the headset, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
I fixed it, I think.
Yep, you're
Okay.
good now.
Yeah. So, Ren, get a 1d8 of inspiration with that.
And that doesn't apply to damage, it applies to the attack roll, though.
Yes, it applies to the attack, not damage. I read that wrong.
That's okay.
Hey,
It's
I'll
different.
get-
It's
my
different
fault,
part.
my fault.
D8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
my
D8
fault.
that goes to skills, too, could be very crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
does-
it's an acrobatics roll, you know.
Does that affect
Yeah.
saving throws as well, or is it only ability checks and attack rolls?
I think it's saving throws too.
Ability checks, attack rolls, or saving throws.
It's important
Sexy.
because that's
Hate
the end
that.
of your turn, right?
Yep, that'll be the end of my turn.
Ren,
Yeah.
you are hidden from sight.
Yeah. But not from mind.
but not from mind. You feel this thickened spike of energy course through your mind. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, that's not terrible. Could be worse. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna use that inspiration. I assume a 16 does not pass.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it. Okay, 20.
20. As you feel it like wash through you, and for a second you're like, it's like a very quick rush migraine. You shock through it though. Nothing else seems to happen. Top of the initiative order. We go to Kenzie and Ren. I almost said Warren.
Oh, again, I'm so sorry.
That's
No,
just,
you're
that's
fine,
my
you're
own
fine.
dyslexia. That's it. I heard a name, that's why I had to go with it.
Yeah, but I was like, oh.
Go for it.
Can I see the brain thing from
So
down here?
while you're down here, it's difficult to see it from the front. If you went behind them, you'd be able to see it better. Basically, for ranged projectile attacks, unless you are opposing them, you're not going to have direct line of sight. And it's going to be at disadvantage.
Okay. I think I'm gonna risk it and try disadvantage from here.
Okay.
I want to take the dagger from my boot and just throw it
Straight
at
up
the brain. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
And just for flavor, like my second attack, I want to try to run up this thing as much as I can, and basically, like, I don't want to hurt the giant. Is my goal, but let's first see, I guess, if this dagger hits. Disadvantage.
Good sound.
Disadvantage. I rolled a natural 20 and I got really excited, and then I was like, disadvantage.
Right.
20. Dirty 20.
That will
Yeah.
hit. So you
Wow.
see like just a sliver of its side, and you whisk it to the side, and you actually see the dagger swirl out, almost like completely missing, but then spiral in and just straight hit it across the side.
Curved the dagger. Curved the bullet.
He's little.
That
You're
is 7 points of damage.
7 points of piercing damage as it whisks in and just kind of cuts straight into it.
Yeah, and then I would like to climb up this giant if I can.
Okay, so they are 20 feet tall, and the entity is at the base of the head. So you can get up with difficult terrain, pretty much, climbing up to them. Make an athletics check, just to start climbing. Or acrobatics, if you so chose.
20. Dirty 20.
30-20. Easily enough, you start climbing up. I'd say you can get within like 5 feet of the brain thing.
Can I swing my greatsword at its head?
Maybe not a
Or at
great
its
sword,
brain? At the brain?
because you're using one arm or part of you.
Oh, true,
that
true.
is
Yeah, I
climbing.
probably dropped my sword to climb up here.
Mhm.
In that case, I'll just take the dagger out and just
Jam
slam
it
it back
again.
in.
All right,
Yeah.
go ahead and make an attack roll without
Like, oh,
disadvantage.
hey!
Yeah, you look over, you see Ren just like hanging out. Actually, you don't see anything because Ren's
Don't know
invisible.
Ren is here. I
Oh,
think.
Ren is literally invisible.
21.
21. All right, so as you bring it down and stab into it, once again, it makes purchase and is deeper than the first.
6 points of damage.
6 points. As it goes in, you can see that there's like mild amounts of resilience, almost like a psionic field as you're cutting into it, but it definitely does make purchase. It's still pretty injured.
Can I use my action surge?
You sure could.
Fantastic. I'm gonna do it.
If
Natural
you-
20. Natural fucking 20.
You are
There you
on
go.
top of these rolls.
Wow.
This
So
is
you're just
because I said on
ripping
Twitter
it
that I
out
have
and
bad
just
luck as a
stabbing.
player.
Just ripping it out, stabbing into it viciously.
That's gonna be 10 points of damage for that one.
10 points of piercing damage as this one goes in deeper. You find purchase. You see the psionic field this time as it coagulates, and you kind of skirt around it and stab into a different position.
All right. That's that.
You have another attack because you have an action surge.
That was my action surge.
Right, but you make 4 attacks. Because when you action surge, you have an entire action again. And your action is 2 attacks.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, no. That's why, like, when fighters get to, like, level 15 and have 4 attacks, and then the action
Terrifying,
surge,
yeah.
they got 8 attacks.
That's a 22.
That will also hit.
This is bananas. Oh, it's a 1 on damage, so 5.
Well, that's still a 5 more damage. In total, you've done, like, 30 with a dagger, which is
Right?
impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
That could kill Roland.
True.
Facts.
Yeah.
Cold hard facts. Ouch,
Hope
but
it's not
true.
the gnome.
But no, so you definitely get it in there, and you can see it when it kind of like does a shrill sound. You can almost see legs curling out from where it was sitting on the head. It's still there, clutching on for dear life, but is like retching at this point. At the end of, well, actually no, it would still be Ren's turn, says your turns are simultaneous.
I have a question, which is, this giant is kind of like lurching around, doing all a bunch of shit.
Mhm.
Like, is it moving or is it just twisting around and trying to get at us?
It's just twisting around. It's not trying to
Okay.
move physically. In fact, the legs seem almost stationary.
Cool. Okay. All right. I would like to do a stabby, please.
You can go ahead and stab it. Although
like
there is a creature within 5 feet of it, so you would not have your one thing. Your swashbuckler
That's
thing?
fine because having another creature that threatens it also gives me sneak attack. So
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
get
true.
sneak attack pretty much no matter what.
That's true. I forget about
Yeah.
that.
Sneak
All
attack
right,
It's if
as a
they have an ally with them.
Yes.
That's when it doesn't trigger.
Swashbuckler is so broken when it comes to just getting that sneak attack.
It's very nice.
Swashbuckler is very powerful against single combat. If there's like
Yeah.
one person versus a horde, it's gonna be a little bit more of a difficult situation.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does in fact hit.
Very sexy. Okay. Hada-bada-ba, hada-bada-ba.
Oh, she's making some whiskey plays.
That's 20 points of damage as I just kind of like pop out. Oh, hi Kenzie. And then I'm just like, bye Kenzie, can I try and hide again?
Sure, go ahead. Bonus action to hide in the fur. You jump out, stab, jump back in.
Brennan's just
Well,
like,
that's a grand total of
Sheldon.
13. I rolled like shit, so.
13, you rolled 2. So,
Yeah.
you think you're hidden, but in fact you're just laying on top of the fur, just
Yep.
sprawled out.
I'm just like sprawled out.
I'm hidden.
Like in Totoro, like the kids are just like, oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yes.
Gonna say
That would be the
Ren-
best hug, though. Those
It
those
would.
creatures. Oh my god. I've never actually
Gonna
seen
say
Totoro. but-
Ren disappearing
It's so
and
good.
reappearing as like Sheldon in the ball pit, just saying Bazinga, Bazinga.
All right. With that, we go to Roland.
Excellent. So I'm going to run up and I just need to touch the frost giant.
Okay.
And so I'm going to run up, just like put my hand on like his leg, wherever I can reach, because you know I come up to like his knee, and
More like a shin, but yeah.
yeah, and I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's great.
There you go.
So you run up, you slap your hand on, and you can see this chorus of magic coast up into the leg, and you almost can see a visual reaction where his legs have been stationary this entire time. So when you put a hand on it, they're very like frostbittenly cold.
Yeah,
Feeling a frost giant's skin is very naturally cold, but this is almost as if there's like no circulation to them. And
Yeah.
when the energy coasts into the leg, you can feel this genuine warmth, which is both scary but at the same time reassuring that there's some sort of flow going into a frost giant's like energy in this case. And immediately both Kenzie and Ren can see the legs just and pop off and shoots off the back of the head of the frost giant. However, they are falling forwards and slam into the ground. So both of you are now back onto the ground. as this brain thing is on its back, legs up, just like shrill, like attached to the ground.
As I finish casting and I see them fall, I'm like, oh, sorry, guys.
Let's see how well I can make. I stick the landing of a 19.
I didn't.
You fall off, just like tossed to the side.
And let's see, performance, meh. It's not very flashy.
However, with that, the brain entity does not seem to be moving in general. The legs are still curled and it's still making shrill sounds, but it's not budging, it seems.
It's not like poke it with my boot. I'm just
Yeah, I was like, are we still in combat?
Theoretically, but at the same time, it can't do anything. So
Does it appear to be like? Okay, I'm gonna carefully feel it with the tip of my rapier. Is it pulsating at all? Is it showing any signs of life?
it's pulsating. It's definitely like alive because its legs are
Great.
still moving.
Can I just take my rapier and just go?
Yeah, I'm assuming that everyone given the opportunity, it's slain very swiftly and easily because it especially so when its legs popped off and curled away, the underside of it seems to have these like thickened tendrils that were wrapped into the back of the frost giant's head. And it's a very squishy, fleshy portion of it, unlike the other parts that had like a psionic field over it. So very easily, with even like very minimal resilience or resistance, the daggers or rapiers or swords can just poke straight through. And it ceases, almost like a spider, and its legs just curl in on itself. Frost Giant is breathing, but is unconscious.
Anyone have a
The first
potion?
thing that popped into my head was, should we offer the Frost Giant a Snickers?
You're not cheating,
Not
you're
anymore.
hungry and sleepy.
Healing or like a potion or a spell?
I do have healing magic, and I also have a potion of greater healing too.
Ooh,
It'll be like a
yes.
tiny little like sip bottle to him, but
It'll be
it
like
would
a drop.
help. It would help to him.
Mhm.
I mean, I could even use my little tiny it's sugar.
Wow. Gross.
But like
What's in that bottle?
it's a bunch of little D4s and the potion of greater healing.
Here's what it actually looks like.
Yeah. Yep, I swear it's not.
You got
it's
censored
the
there.
mystery bottle. But can Willow, can they use the potion of greater healing that they have on the giant?
Yes. You give it to him, you open up his mouth, and you just kind of like pour it in. His wounds seem to heal. He's not unconscious due to pain. He's unconscious due to exhaustion.
Wait, didn't you have lesser restoration?
Oh, I do have lesser restoration too.
I wonder if that can
yes.
help.
Creature, disease, or one condition affecting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Greater restoration helps with exhaustion.
Yeah, I've only got lesser.
I feel like we should maybe just hang out here, maybe take a nap
wait
and
until he wakes up.
yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, you
But
just
until
wanted to
then, I can
sleep.
give him some healing, considering the fact of how long that thing has probably been on his head.
Yeah.
Just sucking the life out of him.
Yeah.
Because greater potions of healing, they're 4d4
44
plus
plus
1
4?
again.
Mm-hmm.
4.
4 plus 4. Well, this is almost a maxed out potion. I rolled 3d4 or 3 4s and a 2.
Jeez.
So 12, 14,
18.
18 points of healing from
Jeez.
that potion.
So once you give it to him, almost kind of like grotesquely, the fleshy parts of his body and the muscles just start to immediately expand out, and he almost like pulsates into a bigger form of himself for a second as he's recovered. Parts of his muscles that had atrophied due to this creature that was on the back of his head. Still fully just straight up sleeping, as if he had not been sleeping for weeks and weeks and weeks.
For months and months and months.
Or months and months and months.
Yeah.
About like 44 months, give or take, which is how many years at that rate?
3.
Yeah.
Almost
3.5.
almost pushing on 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
this.
if you guys are just here to rest up and wait, easily enough, you can get a long rest in because it's comfortably warm in here after. Well, it's comfortable, not necessarily warm, but it's better than being outside. You can get your long rests in, and everybody is feeling pretty rejuvenated from that, including the frost giant himself. The icy wall that it was there still resides. It seems that whatever it is a straight up physical manifestation of ice and is 100% solidified. Seems to be resting himself up against it, his head down, arms out, sweat pouring from the bottom of his face.
Morning.
Good morning. What day
Killed
is
it. Oh, it's not about what day. Kind of about what year.
Yes.
The time during doesn't matter, I suppose. You look over to what was the entity. It seems that where it was is no longer there, and there just is a small substance in the corner that is of different coloration to the rest of the floor. Not necessarily. It's been splattered in the corner out of anger, pretty much. But
I mean, I would have done the same thing. So
yeah, if something was stuck to the back of your head for almost 4 years,
Yeah.
probably. But with him leaning his head back, I really needed that.
So are we cool?
I don't know who any of you are, but if you fixed that, then yes, we are definitely cool. I'm sorry if something was happening outside. I'm not sure what occurred, but
Don't worry about it. Not your fault.
It's not your fault. Don't worry.
well, that's good. Whatever it is that I was doing, it's been stopped. So, thank you for everything that you've done. And now I have to find the rest of my family, or my tribe, because they seem to not be here. This is an entirely empty frost giant stronghold, but things could be worse. Again, thank you. I don't know why you came out here, but you have my gratitude.
Do you need any help finding your...
I should be fine. They're probably further up north anyways. We don't generally come out this far. This was an abandoned stronghold for the most part. We wanted to give space to Fort Alice and the residents there. So?
Yeah, it's us.
Understood. Well, feel free to go back and inform them that everything's been resolved. And when he does, the ice wall seems to like retract down, and you can see there's like light coming in from part of the walls. Where once was windows covered to the brim with torrential snowstorms, seems that the sun has actually come out and is visible. Willow, immediately your eyes burns
like,
because of your drow nature and like to being underground. But
Immediately whips out the parasol. She
Yeah.
faces like, this is not good.
And as you do, he goes up to the side of the door and pushes part of it open to allow you to leave, much like a cat that's pawing at a door. So give me 1 second.
I thought I heard something too, and I'm just like, maybe that's the cat. I can't tell. He gets really picky, and he can't decide if he wants to be in one room or the other.
My cat is actively grooming my hand. It's very cute.
Aww.
I has cat right here.
Oh, Vivi.
Chunky Buddy went straight to his food dish.
When he opens up the door, where once was blistering cold winds is now radiant warmth of light. It's still cold. You're still far up north and in the higher mountains. But it's tolerable. And with the sun, it's actually rather nice in comparison.
Oh. Just
You can also
imagine all the
see,
bodies.
you can also see that with the sun being out, there's a number of pitted chasms that were layered all over the place. It seems that they were dug out manually. That they caved in after the heat came out and started to provide some warmth to the snow and collapsed down. So you were basically brought through a maze of sorts to get here safely.
Follow the wind, avoid the eyes.
Yeah.
We listen to the wind.
Yeah.
But just imagine all the bodies we're gonna come across.
Oh,
How
I don't
many
want to think about that.
regiments- How many regiments went through here, and how many
Well,
of them like
if they sent-
unburied properly?
If they sent 4 of us, if they sent 4 people, with each one, that's 43, so that's 172. Minus 1 for the guy who survived is 171.
Yeah.
Assuming that
could
they're
be-
all still material.
I'm assuming they're all still.
Assuming.
Yeah.
Assuming.
You look
Considering the guy
over and
number
you can
7
see
was an
that
icicle.
that entity that was frozen solid, that's split in half, that you spoke to the dead with, they've pretty much collapsed and were covered
Melted away.
I can't say that word. They were What is happening to me? Am I dying?
You're trying to say what our friend Jordan
No.
says majority.
I know, but it's like, what's the actual word?
Majority?
Majority.
Yeah, but majority covered. That doesn't make sense thematically. Is there not another word? They've
Primarily.
been covered by snow.
Primarily.
Have been,
Primarily.
the majority of them has been covered by snow.
That's what it
Yes.
is. It needs a subject noun. That's what it is. The- Hey, guess what? They've been covered in snow. And braille. Weird.
And
Braille.
Yep.
All right. I think as they're like looking around, they look over, they see this, and then they see Kenzie like already like 60 feet away, heading back to report that we are finished.
I'm coming
Yes.
too.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Willow does not want to be in the sunlight any longer than they have to be. And they're just like, no.
So, concluding up, once you come back to Fort Alice in the passage, it's odd because you also are you're the only ones to come back intact fully and comprehensible, but also coming back in better spirits than other groups. So once you enter, the warden pulls the flyers that seem to be floating around him once again, and with like a materializing stamp that comes into his hand, you just hear thump, 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 thump. And you are all absolved of your previous crimes. Some of you being brought here through your own conventions, others being however it seemed to have happened. Some may have learned a lesson, probably not. Kenzie probably going back to their organization that they seem to work with. And most of you going back to your
Come
families.
pick me up.
Hey, I'm out. Let's go.
Like, I'm picturing Ren just kind of like with a box full of their stuff, just like walking out, looking at the warden, being like, "For real though, I didn't do it," and then walks out.
Yeah, walking out, be like, hey, any of you guys need like a ride? I know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you could just drop me off at the tavern in town, that'd be lovely. And like, she goes back, or they go back to their own tavern that they were running before they were imprisoned for grand larceny. Don't worry about that part.
Yeah,
Thousands
they
have
of
a
gold
tavern.
stolen.
Do we have the what were you in for conversation as we're
Yeah,
leaving?
yeah. If you need drinks, come by tavern. I'm obviously going to give them for free to you guys. So
Perfect.
Ren being framed. Kenzie getting caught in the act. Willow being charged with grand larceny. Oh.
Good stuff.
Well, with
I
that,
swear I don't know how it showed up in my bag.
It wasn't there when I was leaving, and then it was there when I was trying to leave. It wasn't.
It
me.
really, look, here's the thing. They said, hey, sign up for this tournament. I didn't know that they were going to put the winnings in my pocket before I won. And then I didn't get a chance to win.
Just mad I got caught.
Me too.
Well, I think with that, we can call this session a closed. That was very fun. Thank you guys. Sorry
That
that it
was
was
fun.
slow.
This
at
was
the
so
beginning.
much fun.
And thus
was a lot of
concludes the
fun.
adventures of the Dippin' Dots and Dashes.
Yeah!
Dippin' Dots and Dashes.
That's our party name.
It's the party name, the Dippin'
Dots
Dippin'
Dots.
Dots and Dashes.
Dippin' Dots
That's
and
Dips
Dashes.
and dots and dashes.
Who knows? Maybe Frost Giants or be the theme.
And I
Awesome.
never
Always
went-
ice.
I
And
never
we're like,
got to go Darkling.
You never got to go Darkling because there was no way. I don't even know how to implement that one.
All of my stats just become all my stats are now a 20.
Yeah, or now like 300s, which is really weird.
Pretty conservative with it.
But thank you everyone for playing. Thank you everyone for showing up and being a part of this. In total, we raised, let me look at the total, $158.15 for
Nice.
the National Women's Law Center. And I know that I totally botched the one side of it, but I'm keeping track of it separately. And all of that's going to be going in. I'm shocked by just the level of generosity that you guys shown. So thank you everyone for being a part of it and this important goal that the charity drives for. So thank you again. Thank you to the players here for being who they are and how much fun that this was because of that. Lots of jokes came out of it, and I couldn't be any happier with it.
Thank you for hosting.
This
Yeah,
was
thanks
so
for
much
putting it
fun.
together.
So great. Thank
I'm
you.
glad. I was so worried.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
I was dying at the beginning. I'm like, I'm throwing all this into the waters. Ugh, but
Hey, sometimes
No, it was
a
good.
rough
It was
start
fun.
is a
Amazing.
great game.
well, thank you. Thank you again, everyone that was watching, and we will see you again on another Misrolled adventure. Take care.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
Bye.